5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's showtime, baby.
Let's do it.
Let's
go.
go.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome to another podcast. If you can't handle the ploof, I got my boy, Matt,
Back
Double
in the
G
house.
Griff, back in the house.
Family's back together again.
Back, man. Shoot.
He was only in jail for a short time.
That's it.
We're out.
Yeah, man. Bubba was nice.
Then we got
Nice.
our boy Brett Dumas over there holding it down. And Nat, I can't even talk tonight already. This is going to be a long podcast,
Okay.
but I can't
have
get
that
this right.
effect on people. You know what I mean? You know, it's okay.
I know, it's crazy. So it's not. I'm not used to seeing you. That's why. And we have Scott Kaufmann from Mystery Inc.
Yep.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Hey, I'm glad to be
welcome.
here.
This has been a long time coming, man. You're one of my first people I wanted to get on the podcast.
Nice,
So
really?
here you are.
And
yeah.
you waited till the 21st?
Well, I had a list.
But you always win with 21.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, hey, 21?
Always
I'm
win.
actually privileged on this one.
There's no one else I did a memorial of my dad than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got to. What are we drinking tonight, boys?
I'm on Blue Moon.
Yep.
Got a little. I'm staying with my. I watch my figure. You know, the beach weather's coming, so I'm staying with the White Claw, man. Staying with that.
Can't go wrong with that White Claw.
I've actually never had White Claw. This is the first time.
I've never seen one that big.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are actually really good.
Are they really?
king.
Yeah, they're
Claw.
really good. They'll mess you up, too.
I've had a couple. I don't know if I've had White Claw. Maybe I have.
I've had Trulies.
Trulies. That's what
Yeah,
I had.
but-
Trulies.
Yeah, there's about 27 different types of
Yeah,
seltzer.
Yeah. There's so much seltzer
You know.
out there now.
And then Brett brought an interesting one tonight. Brett, talk about sparkling hop water.
Yeah, so I'm breaking away from the wine. Having a bottle or two of wine every Monday. Starting to pack onto my waistband. But so this is just something I found online. Sparkling hop water with adaptogens and nootropics. So it's supposed to be relaxing and lower your blood pressure, and no alcohol, no sugars, no calories. Basically, I just call it beer water.
I hope I don't fall asleep from this nootropics. So we're going to crack this one first because I'm very interested to see what this tastes like. Oh, and we got one more.
Hop water, yes.
Oh.
We got
Give it a
Indigo.
good smell.
That's Snoop Dogg's latest gin and juice, already made in the bottle too.
Pre-mixed.
Pre-mixed gin and juice to Snoop's very
Yes.
exact specifications.
So much drama in Chicopee.
I would definitely play that music if I knew YouTube wouldn't kick me off for a copyright infringement. Because who would want more than Snoop Dogg on the podcast, man? Could you imagine? So Scott, my ink man,
Yes.
18 years ago we met.
Yep. 18 years. Shop's been there 18 years now.
We were just reminiscing before you guys got
Yeah.
here, like literally how long we knew each other. And he's like 18 years. And I'm like, I did the math, and sure enough, 18 years on the money. The year you opened up.
Yep, the year we opened up.
Where's the shop at?
Indian Orchard, Mass.
Okay.
Yep.
It's funny how relationships with your tattoo artist last longer than like most traditional romantic
actually,
relationships. It's like I was with this girl for 2 years with my tattoo artist. Yeah, 20.
Well, it's funny. We share a lot of things together. I was possibly getting a divorce years ago. He was there for me, talked me through the whole thing. I mean, literally, when you talk about therapy, where else can you go? Just come on the verge of crying, getting a tattoo. He's soaking it all in, letting me know it's going to be okay. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You develop
I've
this
been
bond.
there, man.
Yeah.
I've been through a divorce. It's not fun.
No.
And stuff. And, I've been through a lot of stuff. And, God, I'm 52. And
Are you really?
I lived a lifetime already. I'm surprised I'm still alive.
He does a lot of things, and in just a minute, I'll kind of tell you guys how I got to actually meet him, which was a story in itself.
Yep.
I think I did talk about it in one of the podcasts first, but I mean, it was when my father passed away, you did that memorial on my back for me,
Yep.
which was I'd look at it every day, and I just there is that special bond.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you do for people because I'm sure you have every walks of life come in, and
I do a lot of memorials too, and sometimes it sucks. And I've had close friends that lost, kids to cancer,
sure,
and that hurts, man, because you could feel it. And stuff when you're working on them, it really sucks and stuff. But you get the good with the bad. You get the cool stuff that you get to do, and then you got to do the stuff that's it's cool to do, but it's like, oh man, you can feel their loss and everything, and you're just like, oh man, and it kind of dulls down your day. It's like, oh, but usually they're happy when you're done. They're like, oh my god, it looks incredible, and then you're like, okay, all right. They said it looked incredible, great,
It's funny because I was emotional the whole way home. I got home and I walked through the front door and I couldn't talk. And my wife's like, "You okay?" And I showed her to her and she's like, "Oh my God, that is absolutely amazing." And I was speechless for days. Like I wanted to show everybody. I think I put it on Facebook like right away. Remember?
Yeah,
and it was just, it's one of those things like so when I walked back in there after not seeing him for a number of years. He heard my voice before he knew it was me. And he goes, "Get back here." He's like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
And I lost my dad. He goes like, "All right, what do you want to do?" And, what I love about Scott is he goes with the flow of the tattoo. Like the first drawing you sent me, I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I like that at all." And he goes, "Okay, what about this?" And then I'm like, "Okay, that's better." And he goes, and then right away he's like, "You're going to love this." And then boom, he nailed it.
Yeah.
Same with that dragon that you did.
Yeah.
When I'll never forget, you said to me, either you're going to love this or you're going to hate it. There's going to be no in between.
Didn't I cover something up?
Yeah, shitty yellow dragon.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wasn't that a cover up? Yeah.
Dude, I used to sport that thing. You remember that?
I remember that one. I remember that. Hell yeah.
So, Brett, I got this old medieval dragon tattoo. I couldn't even tell it was a dragon, right? And I'm not kidding when I tell you it was about this big. And I sported that thing around the clubs with my sleeve rolled all the way up. Like I was.
Stu thought he was the freaking man.
And I remember people used to go up to me and go, "What the hell is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a dragon. Can't you see?" They're like, "No."
Looks like a seahorse.
Oh, but I was proud of that thing because it cost me like $80 or something, whatever it was back then, you know. And then I'll get right into the story how I met Scott. So I'm thinking about getting a new tattoo. I'm thinking about getting a half sleeve. Actually, I was thinking about getting a whole sleeve at one time, but my job kind of wouldn't really let me get a full sleeve. I kind of had to be a little more professional.
You were in the professional world.
So I'm working for Michael's Arts and Crafts, and we meet this girl named Ronnie, and I knew her a little bit before I took over that store, but me and Ronnie had a very special bond. And she came up to me one day, and I was already looking, So I went to this guy, I won't say who, but he had his head tattooed. And I saw his work before I saw him. So I didn't know he had his head tattooed, but apparently that's my line in the sand. Like, you start tattooing your head, we're not going to do any business. But I don't know why that is. Like, I shouldn't discriminate against another tattoo guy. But no. And I told him straight up, I'm like, he's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I can't do any business with you." And he's like, "Why?" He goes, "I thought you liked my work." I'm like, "I do, but you're tattoo your head, like, what's wrong with you, man?" And I felt bad afterwards, but he was so like, "Listen, man, I got it. It's not for everybody. I'm glad you had enough balls to tell me that you didn't want to come."
That's crazy that's your line. Like, no, like as soon as you
that's my line. I didn't know I had a line until I saw him. Like, that's my line.
Like, to me, that man is committed.
Like, I mean,
no, he wasn't a big guy.
Bam Bigelow. I mean, was he?
He just looked way off base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he was a really nice guy though, because when you talk to him, that was the struggle. Like, he seems like a really stand-up guy.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of shit going on. So I don't know what he's going through, but I don't want him to like.
But he's got a tattooed on his head.
Yeah. And I was planning on doing a lot of things in a row, so I didn't want to, like, if he skitzed out at one time, like, have patches of stuff done. I don't want to deal with that. And so the next day I was really frustrated because I thought I found my guy, and I go into work and Ronnie says to me, "I'm telling you right now, if you don't go see this guy, then I told you, if you get a shitty tattoo, it's on you." And I really respected her.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you, she was very particular. Like, if she didn't like guys, she'd not let many men into her life.
No.
And I was blessed enough. Scott was blessed enough to be part of her life. And I said, "All right, I'm going to go down there." And he was just opening his tattoo shop, so I had to wait. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to wait because, you get that itch.
Yeah, you want it now. Yep. Like, you want it.
And so I did. I waited.
Didn't I have knee surgery?
Yeah.
I had knee surgery, and then I literally broke my knee while putting the shop together.
Oh, wow.
And stuff, and just wrapped it up, got the shop open, and then had surgery and right back to work.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So I walk in there the first time, and I'm telling you, you could eat off the floor in this place. I mean, that's one thing I can say about you, Scott, is your attention to detail.
I am very meticulous about keeping it clean.
Yeah.
You know,
A lot of risk there if you're not clean in an environment like that.
Especially a tattoo spot. You're like, look, this has got to be clean.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of rules around that.
Yeah, there is and everything, but I keep my shop, I keep it, a lot of shops, they like dark colors. I don't like dark colors. I like bright. I want the shop to be bright. I want it to be very lit up and everything and stuff so people can actually see, hey, I could see the corner and if there's dust in it, and everybody knows I got OCD with it. And I'm like, no, you need to clean that and everything.
And that's one thing I think Ronnie felt too, was that you ran a nice clean shop and stuff like that. So I went in there and told him what I wanted. And I don't know if I ever told you the story about the guy with the tattooed head. I don't know if I ever got into that.
I don't know. Okay, that was 18 years ago.
It was. But I can remember that day.
Wow, man.
Like it was nothing. I remember one of the days that we were working on it, the guy came in for a bulldog. Remember he was talking shit?
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like a little bit of
an
open.
That was the older store where it was only half walls. Now the new store has full walls, full rooms.
He's like, you pussies, like, I'm not going to pass out. Because I was getting woozy there for a little while. I was like, oh, this is starting to get... And then all of a sudden, this guy looked like he was going to hit the floor. Hey, like you never got Uzi getting a tattoo?
I have never got
one. Oh, please.
Oh,
I have teared once, but
I've fallen asleep a couple times.
So, do you have tattoos?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, I have a lot.
What do you got?
Break it down,
If you want to take your shirt off right now, let's go.
Break it down.
No, so I have the album cover art from the band Fish, Rift, the album cover art on the back of my calf, and then I have like a dragon, like a tribal dragon on my other calf, and then I have a lantern that was part of a fundraiser that a buddy of mine's he did through his tattoo shop for suicide prevention. And then I have like a wicked shitty tribal that I drew myself up here. I was like one of my first. That's my first year dragon. I got my son's birthdays inside each arm.
Let's go, Brett.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
Who would have known?
I'm telling you, man. Scott, I'm telling you, I know more about this guy now than I did back in high school. I mean, we hung around a lot in high school, but some of the stuff that he's told us.
This is about full sleeve, about 40% done.
Are you really?
I didn't even
know.
I didn't even think you had a tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I got a ice cream cone on the back of my arm. It says, cream like Wu-Tang, cash rules everything.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And that was for like a Wu-Tang event that my buddy did at his shop. And, it was all like, Wu-Tang flash work. So,
God, man, every podcast, it's just...
yeah, you learn something new.
I'm telling you, man. I love it.
And my right arm it's all came out of my 10-year-old's mind. It's a Triceratops playing the drums with hammers in a meteor storm, and it's going to be like the only part that we threw in was Eagle 1 from Spaceballs is on my forearm, and it looks like it's taken off from like this planet where it's getting hit by meteors. Yeah, I'll show you the guys. That one, they're all pretty cool, but this one's.
I'm just going to keep drinking because this is.
That's just all original.
Yeah, there's a lot of hours. I think my legs 20 plus hours.
Wow.
Because it's all blue tones, so it's like just going over and perfecting it. It's not even done actually. It's like 90%.
Wow.
Then we moved on to something else.
My mind's blown. I'm telling you, man, it gets crazier and crazier every podcast.
Yeah.
Next he's gonna tell us he's on the Apollo moon landing and stuff.
So
I wouldn't doubt it.
My tattoo artist is like he's one of my best friends. He's an awesome guy. He's and that's about that forming that relationship. I met him through printing T-shirts. Like he needed T-shirts for his band and for his for his tattoo business, and he started doing my tattoos. I started printing his shirts, and so that's 10 years.
Wow,
that's how it works.
It flies, man.
Yep.
When he did my memorial for my dad, we were like right back to where we left off.
Yeah,
like we never
skipped a beat. And so, Jeff, what's up? And it was just like I have a lot like that. Even my friends now, they understand you own a business, you got to be there. And I won't see them for months, and then all of a sudden, hey, we pick right up right where we left off.
Yeah, it's amazing. So what was the spark that made you want to get into tattooing?
I never wanted to get into tattooing.
Oh, really?
Actually, I was in the Navy.
Oh, that's right.
I just started getting tattooed at a shop down in Mississippi, and I ended up getting an apprenticeship there. And
Really?
Yeah, and it was kind of funny because it was like, you know, they were like, oh, you should do an apprenticeship. You should learn how to tattoo. And I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. They're like, no, there's no trying. There's either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it because we're not going to waste our time with you. So, and after I got out, I've been tattooing ever since.
Now, were you an artist before? Or
Yeah, I did graphic arts and art and everything like that. My mom's an artist, stuff like that. But I basically left high school and was like, yeah, I want out of Agawam, Mass. I want to go see the world, join the Navy and everything. Of course, I joined on a drug waiver and then realized you can't leave the United States when you're on a drug waiver. So, you know, because, you know, way back when they used to let you go in even if you smoked weed. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
the evil,
Yeah.
devil's lettuce.
And it's like, man, you know, oh, you're on a drug. Wow, you can't deploy here. You can't go overseas. Oh, you're stuck here. Public Works, Gulfport, Mississippi. But if that didn't happen, I would have never learned to tattoo because I met one of my best friends and actually he taught me how to tattoo. We have the same birthday. He owns a shop out in Minneapolis.
Oh, wow.
And stuff. And yeah, we call each other up on our birthdays, usually drunk, but not this year because I haven't been drinking that much after having COVID and all that crap. So, you know, but
yeah, so he was.
So anybody else that was enlisted with you do tattoos too?
No, nobody. I don't even talk to. Well, I see one guy, two guys right now that I was still enlisted with and everything, and you know they're that one retired from the military and stuff, but the rest of them, no, I don't see anybody from back then because that was back in I was in from 1987 till 1996.
So you stayed in for a while.
Yeah, I stayed in for a while.
That makes me feel uncomfortable.
You didn't do just the minimum.
That wasn't 2 and out.
No. No, and they actually threw me out because of my knee.
Did they really?
Yeah, they threw me out on a medical. They were like, your knee is shot. And that was, I kind of screwed up on that one. That was called drunken full contact frisbee. And it didn't work out so well when I went to work the next day and tried to tell them I hurt my leg, you know, because I tripped. Nah, it didn't work out so well.
I was in the field.
I was at work, really. I was at work, you know. Yeah, and they were just like, you know, I did the surgery and stuff like that, and they were like, nah, there's enough of your knee missing now that we can't have you in here. So they bumped me over to reserves, where then I blew my knee out again and stuff, and ended up having 2 more surgeries on it, and then the reserves was like, no, we're retiring you.
Yeah, you're like, you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
If you're like a dog, they just put you to sleep. Like, we're done with this.
Know. But no, I enjoyed the military. Man, I loved the military. I
wish
I stayed in there for my whole 20. I enjoyed every minute of it.
No kidding.
You know, I was in the Navy, but I never saw a ship the whole time I was in. I was in the Seabees. I was in the construction battalions, and I was a plumber. So I never saw a ship.
Never on a ship.
Never. I saw them. Hey, how you doing? But that was about it. I never stepped foot on a ship.
Oh, it's like when I first met you. You were talking about doing your whole boiler over, and you were doing all the piping and stuff like that. I'm like, how does this guy know how to do all this stuff?
It's like I seen it every day. Like this is what I woke up to.
He's tattooing. He's building a rocket. He's doing all this stuff.
I'm building an airplane. That's been a long project too.
So we're gonna get into that. So Scott also flies planes for a hobby of his.
Yep.
So what a scary hobby that is, because that's not
that's my
something I do.
Well, my dad got me into it. My dad's been a private pilot all my life. I mean, they have pictures of me as a baby in one of the airplanes they owned, and got my pilot's license 23 years ago. And stuff.
Wow.
I've been flying it. My dad he signed the airplane over to me about 5 years ago because he can't fly anymore, but I owned half of it, and he was just like, gonna give you the other half. It's all yours because you're the only kid that did anything with it. And
what kind of plane are we talking about?
I got a 1965 Piper Cherokee.
65.
But I restored it about 10 years ago. Complete ground-up restoration, completely stripped all down, rebuilt engine, new avionics. It's got, you wouldn't know it was a 1965. Damn.
So you have like the update avionics, like the new age?
It's a full glass cockpit and stuff. And
so just the shell is original.
Just the shell is a 65. That's it.
Now, Brett, you said before you wanted to fly planes too, right?
Yeah. I often consider it. As things are, start to wind down with the kids a little more, I think I'll start. I mean, it was a hectic bunch of years with both my older boys doing gymnastics, and there's going to the gym 5 nights a week, and then meets on weekends. Like, that's a crazy sport and an expensive one. So like, neither of those things are conducive to trying to find time to, try to get a pilot's license. But I think, as things relax through the whole COVID thing, and things wind down with my kids. It's something I want to do. I don't know if I'll ever want to like do a solo flight or
you have to do a solo.
No,
flight.
I know to be actually like a pilot, but let's assume that's saying I go all the way through with it, but I don't. It's just something I want to try to learn. I get things in my head, and like I wanted to learn how to be a beekeeper. Now I have 2 beehives, and all I did was want to learn it. Like I just
see that's my like I'm afraid to try new things like the fish. Like I wanted to be an aquarist. I guess that's the name. I got into that and then decided that's it's too much work.
It's a lot of work.
This I'm getting behind pretty good.
Yeah.
But
you just gotta dive, dive into it and just.
Well, that's my problem. I become obsessed.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know if that turns me off down the line. Do you know what I mean? Like the fish thing. And maybe because I was the only one that was doing it. Like I thought when I had it down here, I had the furniture, the couches and stuff, the big screen down here. I thought people would come down here and enjoy this little room. They want no part of it. Yeah. So it was just me and the fish. That gets a little old as time goes on.
Like once I know how to do it, I'm bored with it. Like I want to learn it and like, it's something new and I got to figure it out. And once I feel I have it mastered, I'm like, all right, what else? What can I move on to next? What else can I master? Right. And then I'm like, all right, I'm kind of bored with this, and then. Yeah. So I that's why I'm saying like I don't know if I would ever complete it because
you would.
It's like
because there's so many different steps to do everything. Like I just have a general private pilot's license, land, single engine. There's multi-engine. There's high performance. There's acrobatic. There's instrument rating.
Doing that and being up and.
Well, it's more of a family thing. Me and the wife and my youngest son loves to fly. He's so we'll go to Block Island for the weekend or whatever. It's 35 minutes in the airplane.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you use that vacation
like recreationally?
Travel?
No, just day trips, weekend trips in the summertime. If we just, I'll get out on a Saturday night because we close early on Saturday night. Yeah. So I'll get out, get up to the airport, she'll have everything ready to go. We'll get in the airplane and fly to the Cape and stay at the Cape insane. And then fly home Sunday night and stuff. Because the Cape's Black Island's like 35 minutes. Cape's like 45 minutes.
That's crazy.
And stuff.
No traffic.
No traffic. He's looking down at it going,
what, no Cape traffic? Like, what's up?
There's no traffic. No, it's so
getting
funny.
over the bridge is a breeze.
You see that bridge as you're going, and you're like,
wow. You have to deal with that traffic.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I was 35 up.
Yep. That's exactly. I went to a concert right before COVID, the summer before COVID hit and everything. I went up to Laconia, New Hampshire, flew right into Laconia on a Friday night, went to a concert, got out of the concert at midnight, flew home. And, and my wife's like, wow, look at all the traffic down there. I'm like, yeah.
That's
right? And how high do you fly usually?
It really depends on terrain, stuff like that. And, see what the weather is and everything like that, because you want to see, you want to, of course, get to the most economical altitude and, wherever, if you got a nice tailwind going that way and stuff, and, where it's a little bit smoother. Because if it's rough, sometimes if you go higher, it gets smoother. And vice versa, it can get smoother if you go lower. But
flying really scares the living shit out of me still.
I hate to say it. I'm afraid of
really?
Planes.
I love it.
I've been on planes, but
He goes, I've seen them.
Yeah.
Like commercial flying is no big deal. We've flown so much, just in traveling and everything. But like I've been on a couple of those little small, planes, and those are kind of weird because like the wind blows and the whole plane fucking moves.
Yeah.
Does it really? Yeah.
It's kind of like when you're driving an SUV on the highway and you feel like, oh, that wind was strong. Like, yeah, that's like that happens all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like we did a aerial tour of Bar Harbor.
Yep.
And that was my first time ever being on a plane. And obviously it's kind of windy up there, and like you're half over mountains, half over water. And I'm like, I got a little sketched out. Plus you got like, you hear everything. It's like driving in like an old car, plexiglass windows and shit. Like it's kind of sketchy.
Like literally, the windows are they're not that.
That's Brett, can you do me a favor? Can you grab me a small glass? I'm gonna try some of this Indiegogo.
Indigo.
If we're drinking that tonight, does Uber come to your house?
Thank you, sir.
I might have to leave my car here if we're drinking that.
I don't even know how the top popped off.
It just popped right out because it knows it's time. It pops itself.
It's like strawberry flavored, I think. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's strawberry flavored, but it's clear.
God, this is going to suck in the morning. I'll tell you that right now.
You got to work in the morning?
Cheers, boys, for
Hey, thanks for having
another
me.
podcast. I appreciate it.
Salutes around.
Nice meeting you guys.
Boom.
Well, how is it?
Ooh, that's good.
Talk to him.
Oh, boy.
Talk to him.
That reminds me of the time I woke up on my neighbor's lawn. So we will we'll be very
Ooh, it is strange.
gingerly with that.
It's hard. It's hard, man.
What my sister called. So yeah, I get obsessed with the phone when I so I got to put that down.
That's why I put mine
I
over
just
there.
look at it
'Cause
the
I'd
whole
be sitting
time.
here texting people going, I'm on a podcast.
Yep. Well, eventually, like I said, we're gonna try to get to a point where I'd like to go live,
Yeah.
but YouTube is very funny with certain things. So
Oh, yeah.
You-
I'm trying not to swear a lot tonight.
no, you can
know.
swear. No, this is a
Yeah.
this is a free speech zone.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
we don't want to wear it out, but we definitely
You know,
we don't know
like
when
it is
happens,
at
we
the
don't
shop,
care,
you know. People are like, oh, you know, it's not a daycare here. You could say fuck.
You know, flying. I'm fascinated with flying, but I'm definitely afraid of it at the same time. Like, I'm just one of those white knucklers. Actually, I've gotten better. I've taken like something like 40 different planes, and so me and my buddy were having this talk the other day. I consider a plane ride from up and then down. If I have a layover and I get on another plane, that is another up and down. So I count those as two separate plane rides.
Well, it would be two separate
Yeah,
places.
right,
Separate
it is.
places. You touch the ground again.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
So because when I said I'd done this many, he's like, I don't remember all those. I'm like, yeah, when I do the up and the down, I got my own math. It works.
Yeah, that's
You know?
flights. It's,
technically,
Yeah,
if the pilot, you don't
I've
have to
never
have the-
considered it, but technically, it
Technically,
is correct.
the-
Yeah.
if the pilot, if you had the same pilot, so like if you didn't have to deboard and they just got more passengers to that pilot, that is two flights because he took off, he landed, he took back off again, and then he landed again. So that would be considered two flights.
See, for me, it's the takeoff. I don't know
That's
why.
the best part.
I don't know why I freak out so much with that. And if it moves at all during the takeoff, then I'm like, okay, we're gonna die.
I like when they take off and they bank hard.
Yeah.
It's like when you're still climbing and that thing banks right over. And I'm like,
that's exactly
"Whee!"
why, man. See, no.
He's just like, no.
We should go together
I'm
one
scared.
of these
Like,
days. and
if you had like a heart monitor on me right now, like it's going through the roof. Man. I'm telling you. I'm literally like this. I sit dead up. I sit like this and just don't talk to me.
You're there.
Don't talk to
I
me.
know, yeah.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. And I'll take a little peek. You know, I'll do a little of this.
Yep.
Hell no. But
Until the seatbelt lights go off, and then you're good.
Yeah, I love it. I'm
I'm still.
I
I'm
just
still.
you
get
really?
settled in.
I'm still
Get
locked
settled in and either
Yeah.
like get a movie queued up on my phone, or if I depending on what time the flight is, I'll take a nap.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
the
getting to
same
a
way.
point now where I can chill out now a little bit. But with COVID, it really messed up our flight times at work. So it probably won't be till, well, I'm supposed to go to San Diego sometime at the end of the year. I'm sure I'll restart the whole fear process all over again because it's been so long, you know what I mean? But, you know, like Chris Bordeaux, that guy's flying all over the place. He's just in Aruba again.
All over the place.
It doesn't face him in the least.
Yeah, we've been
Like, it just gets up
everywhere.
and goes.
Japan, Alaska, all over the U.S., Europe,
Wow.
Mexico a bunch of times. Like, my kids and everything. Like they're like natural travelers now. They all have
I
their
just
own-
say to myself, this is the safest way to travel. This is the safest way to travel. And then that engine on that plane comes off the other day. I'm like, there we go.
Technically, it is the safest way to travel.
It is.
If you take up how many flights a day there are and
Yeah.
how many accidents in aviation there are, it is way safer than driving a car.
So what's the furthest you've ever flown?
Furthest north is up to the very tip of Maine for a lobster omelet.
Did you really?
Literally just got up and like,
just literally
I
flew
just
to
want to
the-
go.
Yeah.
That's
Get
awesome.
breakfast
we
or food.
we all got into my
Yeah,
friends.
call me next time you make that flight. I'll go.
Yeah.
We all got in our airplanes and we were just like, yeah, let's go to Maine. It was like, what are we going to Maine for? Lobster omelet. Okay, I'm down.
So you have like you could literally have a convoy
Oh yeah.
of your boys just like, hey,
Yep.
you guys free? You guys, hey,
Like a
let's,
gang.
Oh,
It's like an airplane gang.
Christmas.
like just get up and go. You know,
Christmas Day, we actually do a formation flight and stuff.
No
with
kidding.
a bunch of. Oh yeah, I have a video of it on my phone and stuff, and scared the crap out of my wife.
Now, is she a pilot too?
No, she she just went with me. I was like, you just keep your eye, make sure we're within the distance of the two planes we got to fly between and everything. And she was like, you're getting a little close to Kevin over there. And I was like, no, he's far enough away, But yeah, we do formation flights sometimes. Usually that's the Christmas Day one and stuff. But this year was no good for Christmas Day. One, I had COVID. And so,
that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. And two, the weather sucked. So, and two of the airplanes that fly with us are open cockpit. So,
oh, no kidding.
yeah, one of them's old Fairchild. He actually, he flies it in the wintertime with a heated suit on and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I'm all set with
Yeah,
that.
no thanks.
No thanks.
Crazy.
Not in winter, at least.
Like, so what do you? Okay, if you're gonna go on a long trip and you got to go to the bathroom, is it Gatorade bottle time?
I've had to use a Gatorade bottle a few times where I tell the wife, okay,
Like, I got irritable bowel syndrome, man. I get up in the air. What do I do?
It's the worst because, I got my wife with me and she's sitting. I mean, we're tight, the cockpit. I mean, we're shoulder to shoulder. It's like, hey, can you hold the controls? I got to go to the bathroom. And then, of course, it's like, you're trying to snake your pants down. And it's like, okay, you get it into the Gatorade bottle. And then it's like, stage fright. Oh man, I can't go. Hey, look out the window, will you?
Can you sing to me? Put some music on.
It's like,
Turn that faucet on.
It's like, damn it, no, I can't go. She's like, are you done yet? And I'm like, no.
I haven't even started yet.
I haven't even started.
Don't
Give
look
me a
at me.
minute. Yeah, don't look at me.
Don't look at me. Now, is your plane heated at all?
Oh yeah, it's got heat. No air conditioning, just heat.
Oh, so how bad is it? Like, 'cause, I mean, you're driving down the street and the sun's banging in the window.
Yeah. Well, as you get up higher, it gets cooler and stuff because you get more efficient, as you go up higher with some, we can go up to 10,000 feet. After that, we got to get oxygen or you got to put a turbo on the airplane because it's not going to perform well.
Oh, wow.
So our average is like 6,500 feet around here. We don't go really much above that and stuff. But, just to go down to the Cape, 3,500 feet, depending on the layer of clouds or whatever. I've come home with 2,500, just because the layer of clouds came in, it got a little low. You can actually go, VFR above the clouds too. Find a hole, circle up, go above the clouds, come over, find a hole, circle down through the hole and stuff. So done that a
just
bunch
makes me
of
nervous.
Now,
Just
do you
thinking
have
about that.
do you have the same airport back here? Like, do you land or can you land in different
Oh, I can go to different airports and stuff. Some charge, like Block Island charges you a parking fee of $10 and stuff if you're going to be there for the day. If you eat at the restaurant,
$10 to park your
plane.
You go there with a card, it's costing you $40.
Yeah, right. To get it over on the ferry, it costs way more.
It has different pictures, like $10 for a plane, a little bicycle, $1.
I'm trying to think of like Kramer right now. Like, let's see if we actually get a plane, we could save on the parking versus a car. Come on, man.
Last time I was at Block Island too. It was right before COVID shut down.
Oh, wow.
We were out there literally the Sunday before COVID shut down. We went out there for lunch and stuff, and they had shut the ferry down out there. And people at this restaurant we were at were like, 'cause somebody tried to buy me a drink. I'm like, oh, I'm flying, I can't drink. And they're like, can you fly us back to the mainland? I was like, no, why? And they're like, they shut the ferries down.
Oh.
I'm like,
Oh, wow.
you need to call over there and, find out, how can you get back to the mainland?
Say, I'll fly down,
Yeah.
and then you jump out at a certain speed.
I'm like, no, and I'm not a commercial pilot. I'm a private pilot, and I don't know who the hell you are. So
How fast do those things go?
the plane,
Your plane.
my plane cruises about 130 miles an hour.
That's pretty good.
So it's going pretty good.
Yeah.
And stuff. That's average. It can go fast. It depends. You get a nice tailwind and stuff like that. I mean, the fastest I went to Keene, New Hampshire one time for breakfast, and what did it take us like 40 minutes to get there. But we made it home in 17 because the wind was just blowing us back. Yeah, it was like,
Jesus, 17 minutes.
yeah, but the ride up there, we were fighting the wind the whole time. We were only doing like 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
When on the way home, we were doing like 200.
Yeah.
So it was like, it depends on the winds.
Is that my phone?
Now, how about do you have any tats of your plane?
No, I have my whole back is the history of aviation, though.
Is
and
it really?
stuff. Yeah. And Jimmy, one of my artists, did it for me. It's the history of all from the Wright brothers airplane all the way to the stealth fighter.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
My father and his cousin, my father's cousin's a glider pilot, so they get towed up. This is crazy. No engines.
Yeah,
if you
no
guys don't
engine.
know, you're in a plane with no engine basically, and you get towed up by a hook to it by a tow plane, and then you just disconnect, and you're just riding thermals and floating and hope you can get to a place where you can land, right?
Yep.
So they did this. It was called like Back to Kitty Hawk. It was for like the 100th year anniversary of the Kitty Hawk flight, and they went from California to Kitty Hawk like on the day, and they were scheduled to land on the day of the original flight. So it was this like countrywide or cross country tour. Glider pilots from all over the world came. It was a couple hundred of them, and they all like didn't, you got to do it in like links basically because you're not gliding that. But yeah, it was like, I forget how long, several weeks they were out. My dad was his ground man, so like if you had to land outside from the scheduled airport, he'd go like meet up with them and help them take the glider apart, put it in a trailer. But yeah, my dad talks about that experience. It was probably one of the best things he's ever done. And I was like, man, I wish I could have went.
Yeah. So they would fly from one spot to the next spot. Would they land, or would they still be in the air and connect?
No, you don't. Once you're in the air, you land yourself. It has landing gear, so you get towed up,
and then you towed up,
and then you glide, and then you land at an airport, and then you get towed back up again. So they basically had it all scheduled. It's like, okay, try to make it to this airport, but if you don't get the right, thermals, and your plane doesn't stay lower, you just make a bad move, you might have to ditch in a farm, like a field or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Hope you can find a spot that's big enough for your glider.
Yep. That's why the wings are detachable.
I ain't even gonna sleep tonight. I'm having nightmares. I'm having nightmares
trailers.
I want to be gliding with nowhere to land. Right down Memorial Drive. That's my only option. Yeah. I'm telling you.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's no engine. You're just
you're just gliding along.
Sleeping with my freaking stuffed animals tonight.
Some of them are
you and me both.
The real pimp ones, like the newer ones, so you can get self-propelled ones.
Self-propelled glider,
just enough to get you up, and then you shut it down because the challenge is how long can I keep this thing up just by gliding?
Yeah, it's called I think it's a monoglider.
Yeah,
and stuff. They're made. There's a company that you actually build it and stuff yourself.
Like,
and it literally has like a little. Like a small, tiny little engine in it. And that gets you off the ground, and then you shut it off. And it only holds like 3 gallons of fuel.
Oh.
Like,
I think my snowblower takes
it's pretty crazy. I'm not into those. Like people ask me,
I'll keep the engine.
You parachute? I go, why would I jump out of a perfectly good airplane? No.
I follow this guy on YouTube now that started his own plane from a ground up. It was a kit.
Yep.
And he showed it being delivered on all these pallets.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the boxes were bigger than others, but from the wings to the engine came in 1,000 different parts.
Yep.
All his avionics came in 1,000 different parts.
Oh, wow.
And him and 2 other guys built this thing. And when you look at it, what it is now, it looks so detailed and so high tech.
Yeah.
And the last video I watched, he was going to get his oxygen tank so he could fly higher.
Yep. Yeah.
But this thing, you got in there, it looked like the space shuttle.
Oh, no.
The avionics was so precise and like insane. And then he said it cost him about $160,000 altogether.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of building an airplane right now. I got 2 kits in my garage. I already finished what they call the empennage kit.
Yep.
Tail, and now I'm working on the wings.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep. I've been doing that for about 4 years now.
How long do you think before it's done?
Oh, I call it my retirement project.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's like, "Oh, you got an RV6 kit?" Yeah, 20 years.
So talk to me more about that. What is that? So the audience
It's a kit
knows.
that comes, you buy it from Vans Aircraft out in Portland, Oregon, and everything, and it's a kit where all the parts are pre-bent and stuff. I don't have, some of them come pre-punched where they have holes and then you just finish drill the hole. Mine's not like that. Mine's an earlier kit that's not pre-punched. So you have to mark out all your holes, drill them all, deburr them, dimple them, rivet it all together. Like, that's what I have my kids for.
Oh my God, it sounds like so much work.
It's a lot of work and stuff. But, I just do it just because I already have an airplane I restored. So why not build one now?
I think even if I did that, I wouldn't fly it because I'm like, no, I'm flying a fucking thing. I built it.
Hold on. As you complete each section, you have to have a person that's built, that's experienced with the building,
Inspect
come and
it.
inspect it and sign it off.
Oh, really?
Before it can be closed
I
up.
probably
Yeah.
still wouldn't fly it.
Okay. They want to make sure this is not just some guy, buying a kit, putting it together, just get out and fly it. No, it requires, a lot of there's a lot of kits out there built right now. It's pretty incredible.
Really, huh?
I don't know how these guys have that time.
That sounds like a lot of okay, gotta mark the thing, gotta punch it. One piece might take you for days to get done.
Oh yeah, but I don't understand where some of these guys they'll build an entire airplane in 2 years, and I'm like, how? What did you work 24/7?
How they have the time to do it?
And it's just one person working on it. It's not like they had 10 people helping them. One person.
I just think it's wild that you can just order a kit for a plane, like you're buying a model off of Amazon.
Did you hear that phone call now? Ring, ring. Yes. Can I help you today? Yes. I need to buy a plane, please.
Actually, I bet.
Here's the other question: how is all this delivered?
On another plane.
Tractor. Well, I lucked out. Funny thing is I was looking into building an airplane. I found a guy down in North Carolina. His father had bought the kits. He never started them. They were still in the crates and stuff. So me and the wife got in the car and grabbed my buddy's trailer and drove down on a Saturday night, met him Sunday morning, loaded up all the crates. And came home and stuff. And then this is even funnier, is he gave me a bunch of extra stuff with it and everything. And he is like, oh, yeah, there's a remote compass in there and all this other stuff. And I open up I get it home and I'm opening up the boxes. And one of the remote compass, I see the receipt. And it's from one of my friends at Westfield. Bruce sold his father the remote compass. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I showed it to Bruce and he's like, oh, that came out of my Skybolt.
He goes, you probably shouldn't use that. It's shit.
He's like, I tried to get rid of that. And it's this ass in Carolina bought it.
He goes, oh, don't use it.
He's like, yeah, I sold that on the Vans aircraft message boards and stuff.
Yeah.
Where guys, if they run into problems, they throw the problem out there. Other builders will help them with it and everything. Or, whether, you screw a rivet up, hey, move on and just, put a rivet next to it or one on each, within the distance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I put it up there, sold it and stuff. And I was like, well, you want to buy it back? And he was like, no.
I wouldn't trust myself. I don't give my car the oil change that it needs when it needs it. Never mind putting a rivet where it's supposed to.
Yeah. Marked out. It's all in blueprints.
I would just be like, looks good for me. Let's go.
Yeah, can't I use screws on this thing?
So it's funny because I was telling my buddy the other day that I was having you on. And I said, you know what? I don't know if this is the guy that told me this story. I said, but I remember a story where he took out his plane and there was a hammer stuck in the wing.
Oh, yeah.
And so I asked him about it today, and it's Scott that was the guy with the hammer. So tell the audience what that was like.
I put my airplane. Well, this was when me and my father first got the airplane going and stuff, and I put it in maintenance at this place, and everybody, they warned me. That's the worst part, is when somebody warns you about a maintenance facility, you should probably stay away from it. So we put it in there anyway because my father was like, oh, they said they'll take it now and everything like that. And I got it back, and I went to go fly it. And I, took off out of Barnes and everything like that. And I was heading on runway 20, left turn out, going to head north. I went to turn left. The airplane won't turn left. The controls are jammed and stuff. So, I turn around and, I get a hold of the tower, and I'm like, yeah, I need to come back and everything, need to come take a right, and come all the way back around because I asked them for right turns only because I'm having a control issue and stuff. And they're like, do you want to declare an emergency? And I'm like, only if I crash. And they didn't like that answer. No. I got called into the tower for that one. Yeah, they did not like that. They're like, no, you either declare an emergency or, I landed.
There was no emergency on my part.
There was no emergency, But yeah, that was, I went back to the maintenance facility and it was like, somebody missing the hammer? And they're like, no.
Denied.
This is in my airplane. Damn. Yeah, it got jammed in the counterweight.
Oh my God! See, that would be my luck, man.
Yeah,
that's why I don't do stuff like that.
That was the only thing in 23 years of flying. It's the only thing I've ever had happen.
Never had
an engine out. Nothing.
Landing gear.
No, mine's fixed gear, so the landing gear never goes up. Yeah. But no, never had a problem ever. I've gotten up to the airport, the battery's dead if I haven't flown it in a while, but That's about it. You know, as long as I got a great mechanic now that I go up to in Molten Borough, New Hampshire. I fly up there and spend the night up there usually, and me and him do the annual together. So, you know, I get to see what we're inspecting and everything because I'm meticulous about it. And he even tells me, he goes, "You're the most meticulous person I know." He goes, "This thing is in immaculate condition for a 65."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, man." You know, and he goes, "No," he goes, like, "Really?" He goes, "I can't get over the condition of this airplane."
So the body can last pretty much forever, right?
It's aluminum.
It's
so
the
it'll
engine that
never,
you're
yeah, the engine. Oh,
constantly-
the engine's completely overhauled. That's good for. It's got like 600 hours on it now. It's good for 2,000 hours.
Oh wow! And so what when you get to that 2,000 mark, what are we talking about doing to the engine?
Engine comes out, goes out, gets a overhaul. They check all the tolerances on the cases, stuff like that.
So they strip it right down.
They strip it down to nothing, go right through it, magnaflux everything for cracks
Wow.
and stuff. Yep, put new cylinders. Usually, I put brand new cylinders on every time. The one time that we did have to do it, put brand new cylinders on it and stuff. And yeah, it's just when it's done, it's ready for another 2,000 hours.
Imagine where we came from, like before, where people like didn't do this shit.
Yeah.
Where planes just dropping out of the sky
Yeah.
because you got that one guy that goes, fuck it, I'll get to it, in a couple weeks.
Before people decided as a whole, like, this keeps happening. Maybe we should look at it before it happens.
Like
Well, even to the sense of discussion, you said 2,000 hours,
Yep.
and you said, "Oh, it takes us 40 minutes to go from here to there."
That's what I mean.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
So,
So from 1965 till about 96, that airplane flew 2,000 hours.
wow.
Okay, so that's when I
30
want to say
years.
96,
Wow.
97 is when we had the motor overhauled. And we sent it out to a company down in Long Island, New York, created the engine, sent it down to them. Very popular company for doing it. Sent it down to them, had it completely overhauled, and they even said, I'll never forget talking to the guy. He's like, "This is the cleanest engine we've ever seen on the inside." And I go, "Yeah, my dad changed the oil a lot."
Yeah.
And stuff. But yeah, we got it back from them, and we've been running it. It's about 600 hours, and that's
25 years.
25
Yeah.
years, 600 hours.
So like,
Yeah.
do you know how much of a commercial plane would have to be? Like, what's the number of hours? And
Oh God, it's got to be. I think they have 100-hour inspections.
wow,
Every 100 hours, it's inspected.
that makes
and
me feel a little
stuff.
bit better.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for the commercial planes are. Even my annual is 8 to 12 hours long once a year. We go through everything.
Is it that long?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that
Wow.
long. It's very meticulous. You're in there with mirrors and flashlights, looking at everything. Because there's certain things, what they call airworthiness directives, where we've seen problems with that aircraft in the past, and something happened to it, so they'll send out an AD on it. And we'll have to comply with the inspection on it and really look at it and stuff. Or there'll be like a bulletin to service it and change this part to this.
Oh,
and
like a
then the
recall
AD will be
notice like you
gone.
get for your car, right?
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this particular model we detected this issue, so take a look at it.
Yeah,
Like
the recall that I say fuck it and I let it go another 8 months.
Oh, it's not a safety one?
I got 2 of them for a year. Mine, I don't have
You
time.
and me both, man. I ain't
As
gonna
long as it doesn't say we'll catch on fire, I'm good.
Yeah, I look, and as long as no one's died, I'm like, so we're good. We're fine.
I got that one for the Sequoia right now, where literally the DMV sent me one that was like, "Your car is due for airbag recall."
Oh my God,
And
yeah.
I've been avoiding it for like
Yeah.
6 years.
I remember back when I was young, I used to work on Pontiacs, and we had the Pontiac, what was that little one called? Fiero? No, was that?
Fiero was like the little two-seater.
Yeah,
for
the
like
little two-seater, right? Yeah, yeah.
Rear engine.
And those things were lighting up on fire all the time. I remember going down the turnpike, seeing one on fire. Like it was a big deal. And I just saw one, I swear to God, probably like 3 or 4 months ago up in Leominster.
Yeah.
This older guy had it, and I pull up next to him and I go, "I haven't seen one of these." And he goes, "Yeah, I collect nonsense cars like this, like that nobody wanted."
I thought they were cool.
Yeah, they
You
were.
know,
I mean, they were
aside from the
ahead
fire
of the
part.
time.
Yeah.
Except for the fire part.
Except for the fire part. Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, it's nice to know that you go into that kind of depth.
Yeah.
With your dude, this stuff is giving me the worst.
It's hard, man. I'm telling you.
What, you got
God,
heartburn now?
Oh my God, you don't even know.
Oh.
I go to drink it now, and it's like screaming in my lungs. How dare you bring stuff like this?
And he's drinking more.
Yeah.
Well, the only way to make it go down is you got to keep drinking.
Just wash it
Like,
down.
there's some stuck right here. I should drink some more.
Just wash it down with some beer water, man.
Oh, and it burns the whole way down. It's just
Have some beer
oh,
water.
it's just evil, man. I just keep doing it. Tomorrow's gonna suck.
You got to work tomorrow?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm terrible at taking time off.
All right. Yeah, I am too.
My boss says all the time to me. She just sent me an email the other day. She's like, Jeff, you got to take this time. And I'm just like, when? When do I have time? But I do have time. Like if I sat down with her, she'd be like, all right, this is the time you take. When I'm out in the field, I just like to be out in the field. Yeah, I just love being out there. And so, you know, when you love what you do.
Yeah. It's like,
you know what I mean?
You've always been a worker anyways, man. Like you've never been one that's like, hey, I'm going to take some time and I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. You're like, I'd rather be working.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you probably went on vacation, you'd be working.
Well, it's funny because I was just talking to Chris. He was in his Aruba the other day, so he FaceTimed me. The last time I took a vacation, like a legit vacation, was like 8 years ago at his wedding. We went to Miami.
Oh,
8
wow.
years.
Yeah.
Oh, take a vacation.
I know. I don't. But so, we just bought a camper. It came in today, so it's like 23 feet or something like that. So we got some stuff to do to it, but it's gonna be cool. We're gonna at least go camping and start doing something because, and I feel bad because my daughter every once in a while says, "Dad, we never really do anything." And it's true, we don't. And it's not that I can't afford it. It's just that, you know, that time away. Like I have a hard time relaxing, and you know, talking about tattoos, that euphoria you get when you're done getting a tattoo, you can't really explain that to somebody unless they actually had one, because like that 4 nights afterwards, I slept like a baby.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Well, half of it was because you can't touch it. So you just roll over.
Nothing's better than being jabbed with a needle.
You can only lay one way. That's it, man.
But I'm telling you, every time I take my shirt off, which is not a good sight for anybody to see, by the way, it's strictly for me. Yeah. But every time I see it, I look in that mirror. You know, you're always on my mind. And this,
see, that's so nice to know.
Just thankful, not in a weird way, but you know, it's that you make those connections.
Yep.
And you're like my therapist in a way, where I can go in there. We can start talking about anything. There's no judgment.
Yep.
You know, and you got a lot of ink too. You know.
Yeah. But see, I don't have like you guys have gone to the same person all the time, and I haven't. So I don't have that. Hey, you know, remember when I was here last time? You know, we talked about this, whatever. Mine are all different times, different. I'm on vacation. Hey, I'll go get one. Hey, somebody's got a tattoo party. You know, back in the day, everybody had like tattoo parties.
Oh, yeah.
You know, hey, I'm gonna go get one here. Hey, I'm gonna do this. I've never actually I've gone back to the same guy. But other than that, nah, man. You know.
Well, now you do.
I do need more ink. Just saying.
I do have a good story about Jeff in the shop one day too. Do you remember that crazy lady with the nose piercing?
Oh my God!
I'm tattooing Jeff, and this lady's pacing. Getting a nose piercing, and she looks. Right, was she looking at us or was she looking at Chad? And she goes, "Would it feel better if I got punched in the nose first before I get this piercing?" And Jeff goes, "I'll punch her in the nose." Just like that. And I'm like, no.
She just wouldn't settle down, man. You know,
settle down. He's like nervous.
He's like, "I'll punch her in the nose."
I'm at that point where now it's starting to get to me. You know what I mean?
Irritated.
Yeah.
He's been there for a few hours, and he just kind of,
she just keeps going back and forth.
Probably that's the only thing you could see.
Yeah, I'm hyper focused on her.
Vision,
yeah.
Just kind of, like, she says it. He kind of whispers. He looks at me. He goes, "I'll punch her in the nose." Like, oh man, okay. I'm trying to think. Are you almost done now?
I had to apologize. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry about that.
Me and Chad were laughing our asses off. Man. We were like, that was too funny because Jeff was more than happy to punch her.
And I don't advocate that at all, but that was a.
It's just one of those things where you were at the very end. I think it was at the end of a 3-hour session.
Yeah.
And you were just like, "Oh, you touch me again, I'm gonna kill you."
Well, just like I had to go to the doctor's today, and I thought I was going to be told some crazy news today that I was going to have a life-altering decision.
I forgot about
I do not have cancer, although that was on the table when they first did the first. So I'm good to go. But I've got my point of my story here. I just had a brain fart. Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah.
What was you just talking about?
Cancer.
You went from having a tattoo, you went from sitting
tattoo.
there,
Punching
there
a lady in
for
the
a while.
You don't
See,
advocate hitting women.
It's this stuff right here, man.
Yeah, damn it,
Get
Snoop.
this stuff away from me.
Hallucinating right now, man.
What is that? Gin and
Indiegogo.
I don't know what I was gonna say.
Indigo.
Indigo. That's it.
In the indigo bottle.
It should be called brain fog. That's what it is.
Snoop's brain fog.
Gin and juice.
That's it, man. It's just gin and juice.
There's more gin in here than there is juice. I'm telling you right now.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That is mislabeled.
Hey, I already told you, it's strawberry flavored and it's clear.
Yeah.
So
That's like grain alcohol, man.
It is. Well, that's what it tastes like. It tastes like rubbing alcohol that I would use to take stickers off or something. You know what I mean?
I'm already
And why am I the only one drinking this?
I'm already thankful for my decision not to have any. I'm glad I stuck with not having any then after the stellar review.
God, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good, but
Yeah.
it's my
like
throat still
gasoline.
burns. Yeah, it's like drinking gasoline. Like I probably have less of an issue going to drink gasoline.
Gasoline and
with
juice.
this, yeah.
I wonder if it'll start a car.
Well, I bet you that would do a lot of things. They could probably fly your airplane.
there you go.
So what does a gallon of aviation fuel go for?
Oh man, it's up there. It's almost $6.
Is it
now.
really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's
So,
gonna
like,
go up.
If you go to the Cape, what does that set you back?
Oh, well, it burns 8 gallons in an hour and stuff. But between takeoff though, you're gonna burn a little more climbing out and stuff. But usually I'll burn up about 10 gallons.
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So it's not a cheap hobby.
No, it's not a cheap hobby. That's why you don't fly them every day and
Right.
stuff. But yeah, I also, I'm lucky, but I have the STC. My father got it. It's a supplemental type certificate to burn car gas in it. But
Oh, wow.
Massachusetts has all ethanol gas, so you have to go all the way to New York to get non-ethanol fuel to put in it and stuff. And it's like it's not worth it.
Massachusetts bastards. Got us again.
Oh man,
Every time we turn around.
Every time we turn around, But if
So
I
is
can.
is the ethanol fuel more efficient? Is it?
No, the ethanol fuel. The problem with the ethanol fuel is it absorbs water and stuff. If it
that's
any
right.
type of moisture, it'll absorb the
There you go,
water.
man.
And because we
no
have
more for me. If that's for you,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
good. That's good.
because it's a vented system. There's vents on the gas tanks
So
and everything. Moisture can get
Condensation,
inside, condensation,
and then collects in the
Yep.
fuel.
Yeah, because it's an aluminum gas
Yeah.
tank and stuff,
Oh,
so
okay.
it can sweat.
Yeah.
and stuff. So
All yours now.
yeah,
I'll
so
stick with this.
usually when you sump off and stuff like that, you could sump out some water, but but that'll actually absorb it and stuff, and it'll eat away at all kinds of my airplane's still a carburetor.
Is it really?
It's actually got a carburetor on it. Yeah, an updraft carburetor. Like the carburetor's underneath.
Yeah.
It goes. Sucks all the stuff upwards and stuff. But yeah, so you can't run the ethanol in it at all and stuff. But they're developing more and more stuff. Like my buddy Dave, he just bought a new airplane. His runs on car gas. Like 90 octane car gas, and it only burns 3 gallons an hour.
Oh, that's
wow.
insane.
But it's like flying a damn kite.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like the airplane weighs, like my airplane weighs like 2,100 pounds. His weighs like 600.
That's it?
Yeah, and it's like there's nothing to it.
So you're getting
Oh.
blown all over
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah,
thank
when
you.
it's windy out, you're everywhere. You're not, it's not a fun ride. But
It's like driving an old a 1918 Model T on
about
a gravel road.
Yeah.
think
and
about
little skinny
driving one of them
tires.
smart cars on the highway or on tractor trailers. It's like, oh man, that thing is tiny, but it's a nice airplane. It's beautiful, and it's very efficient, but
You pay for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a trade off. You know what I mean?
It's a
Yeah.
big trade off and stuff. And then my other buddy Steve, he's got a Beechcraft, what is it, A36, 6-cylinder, 6-passenger, turbo, retractable gear. That thing burns 18 gallons of fuel an hour.
Oh man.
Yeah, he don't fly much.
No.
Because, it's like, man, but when he wants to get somewhere, he's there quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when he goes to like New Hampshire, it takes me an hour to get to Laconia. He's there in like 20 minutes.
Wow.
Can you imagine
It's unreal. That's why I keep thinking about the times.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
the traffic, man? The traffic just makes me want to throw up.
Yeah. And what type of range do you have?
That depends.
Obviously,
on
it depends on a lot of conditions, but
wind
like
and stuff
average,
like that,
I
yeah.
guess.
But basically, I carry 4.5 hours of fuel in there.
Okay.
It carries 50 gallons because they say 4.5 because we have to have a half hour of reserve.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta try this now. Oh boy.
Got to make its rounds. It's got to make its
He already had
rounds.
COVID, so we're
Hard
good.
This will probably kill it though. By the way,
Now he might
Hey,
just
I'm 7 times negative, 1 time shot. So
he might get herpes now, but at least he already had COVID.
I'm gonna do it. I didn't
Oh.
go to the bathroom break.
Oh my God.
it's hard.
Wow.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, see, I wasn't kidding, man.
Oh, you weren't kidding, man.
No.
Whew, that's making my eyes water. Whew.
That bottle will be lasting quite a bit.
Oh.
That'll be quite a bit.
Well, if you mix it with like some kind of
Oh
juice,
yeah. There's cocktails. and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
think
that.
that's all gin. I don't taste no juice.
that's all flavored, like just a little bit of splash.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Snoop. I don't taste any strawberry in it.
Yes. I don't know where he said strawberry and gin and juice. There's no juice.
He's got to reformulate that nonsense.
Wow, man, that's making my stomach burn.
And just think he's smoking weed with that and doing all sorts of crazy shit. That's why these guys get in trouble. Because they drink stuff like this
That's why
and they go crazy.
he probably had that when he did the CD, man. That's why it was so good.
Yeah.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
You know, like the best music in Disney movies come out when they're drunk or something.
Oh
man.
yeah.
And what?
Everything good comes out when you're drunk, man.
Hence, we got these two over here.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I got 5 kids. Everything comes out good when you're drunk.
Do you have 5 kids?
I have 5 kids.
I didn't know you had 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna adopt. Well, 2 from a previous marriage
that's
and 3
right.
from
Yeah,
my
yeah,
wife
yeah.
now.
Okay.
And everything. My daughter lives in Chicago right now. She just moved to Chicago.
The
She's-
Windy City.
the Windy City. She's not happy.
That's where I was supposed to be a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, she was supposed. She lived in Tampa, Florida. And,
Oh,
she moved from Tampa to Chicago.
The life.
Yeah, in
life.
January. But she goes, "Oh, it's not that bad." And then what was it? Super Bowl Sunday. We text her.
Yeah.
How's the weather out there? She goes, it's -9. I'm like, yeah. I go, how the dogs like it? She goes, they won't even go outside without boots on. I'm like, yeah, you took them from Tampa, Florida to Chicago.
Yep.
I'm sure the dogs are like, can I go back to the pound, please?
I used to only see Chicago. That used to be my connecting flights
Yep.
everywhere. But last year, my company, we actually had our business meeting in Chicago. And that's where it's going to be going forward. And I'll tell you what, man, that wind is not the Windy City is not a joke.
Yeah.
We stepped out of that door, and I was like, the door almost flew. It almost went into the street.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, man, it was unbelievable how windy it was. But what a beautiful city. Downtown was absolutely gorgeous.
Never been.
Yep.
I've never been. I plan on going out. Hopefully, COVID. She says there's a because she went from Florida to Chicago. The restrictions on COVID are a lot. She was like, Florida's wide open. I go here, man. You
Can't do nothing.
You got to download an app before you go into a restaurant, order your food. I'm like, yeah,
crazy,
it's kind of like
man.
it is here. They're about the same as Massachusetts, the mandatory mask, all that and stuff.
Right.
But she was like, yeah, Florida, because people don't care.
What's the other state that just opened up altogether? Was that Texas? Yeah.
No, they're not open yet. The 10th.
The
It's
10th.
today, the 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when I was out in Sturgis during the last summer in August, there were no masks, no nothing.
I was gonna say
and stuff.
Carolinas are the same way because I think their latest thing is they're gonna do concerts, but you don't have to put you don't have to be masked up at a concert.
Oh, really?
They're like,
Yeah.
come
Well,
on.
if it's outdoors,
Look,
I never understood the whole outdoor mask on
Yeah.
thing. It's like you're outside.
Yeah. Well, I finally get to hang out with my mom this Thursday.
Yeah.
She had her first shot. But it's going to be outside so we can, and the weather's supposed to be beautiful because I haven't physically touched my mother and hugged her in a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
The same here with my dad and stuff. My dad's got COPD, so we couldn't even, even Father's Day, we could see him from like 10 feet away because he gets it. He's done and stuff. So my
crazy.
grandmother, we haven't seen her since it all started either.
Really?
We usually go to see her every April school vacation. We go to Lake George where she lives and
Yep.
go see her. And we haven't, last year was a shot, this year shot, and stuff. So, and she's, what is she, 94 now? So,
Wow.
Yeah.
She doing good?
She's doing because she still drives.
Does she really?
She still drives. I'm like,
jeez.
I love hearing that. I love hearing
Yeah.
that.
I always wonder how I'm going to be at 94. I tell you right now, based on where I'm at right now, it's not going to be good.
I'll tell you.
I thought today somebody was going to tell me I had cancer. So, I mean, it's amazing how shit my body is.
oh yeah.
But he, talking about men's health, and I think that's something we should probably talk about real quick if you guys don't mind.
No.
We're all men. So
We're all men.
Yeah,
in theory, right?
and we're relatively healthy.
So,
all right, we covered that subject.
Yeah.
Okay.
so for all you guys out there that don't want to go see your urologist, I'm telling you right now, this is something that we need to start doing for men's health, because I heard some horror stories today that are most of them are preventable.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Especially if we catch them early. And I don't think enough guys talk about doing that kind of stuff. I take care of my wife who's disabled, and a lot of my attention is to her, make sure she goes to her appointments and does all those things. And I'm not always good about doing that. So today could have been a game changer. From a previous CAT scan I had, they saw stuff on there, but it was because of some fluid I took for the CAT scan that made everything else look weird. So, but when he showed me what cancer looks like versus my slide, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, so you understand why we
really?
got a little nervous, and I suffer from kidney stones. I know what I was going to say. I just reminded myself. So we were talking about apologizing, right? So I had a 9mm kidney stone that let loose one night, right? And it was like a culmination of throughout the day, the thing must have been dislodging a little bit. So it'd be like, whoa, and then the pain would go away quick. And I'm going down the turnpike, going to dinner with some friends. One starts to make its way out. Just as I got down to the restaurant, it goes away. Like, okay, that's weird. Figured just a back spasm or whatever. So that 3 o'clock in the morning on my way to the emergency room, I wake up like 3 feet off the bed. So I get to the doctor's and I'm trying to explain to him what's wrong, and he's interrupting me every 5 seconds. So it's about the woman there we were talking about, and I look at him, I go, "You just shut the fuck up for a minute." And then I never got to apologize to him because that's not how I talk to people.
Yeah.
So he talks to me.
Like a year later or 2 years later, I forget what the time frame was, but I have another one. I got to go back in there again, and who's there? This doctor, right?
Doctor.
So I said to him before we even started, I said, he was like, "Hey, Jeff, how's it going? What's wrong?" I'm like, before we even start, and I'm just writhing in pain. I'm like, I got to get something out. I'm sweating like you wouldn't believe, right? The pain is just unbearable. And I said, I have to apologize. He's like, for what? I go, I pretty much told you to shut the fuck up last time I was here. And that was not right of me to do, and it's been bothering me literally since that happened. And I said, unfortunately, it's taken another kidney stone for me to come in and apologize. And he's like, dude, he goes, the last one was 9mm. I get it. Like, I walked out of here thinking, thank God that wasn't me. I go, did you really? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, I did that quite a bit.
Like, I wouldn't have been that nice.
Dude, think about that. 9mm bullet.
So drink your water,
Yeah.
and if you have see your urologist, your male doctor every year, because that's important.
No,
and
that's the stuff I gotta start doing, man.
Telling you,
I ain't
man,
gonna lie.
he told me a horror story today, and this poor guy who came in the last couple days ago hasn't been to a doctor in like forever, and who knows what it's going to look like for him. But I hope he gets. I don't know who this guy is. We didn't say his name or anything like that. But he was just trying to impress upon me to make sure that we go for these annual physicals and stuff like that. And I didn't get the finger poke today.
You didn't?
I know. I thought I was gonna, but I got another 2 more years before. But I've had it before.
How old are you?
I'll be 48 this year.
Oh.
Good Lord.
Yep.
No, I
Still look good though. Look at
Yeah,
this.
you do. Look at that, man.
Adonis.
Like a work of art. I'm like that old car that's gonna break down any minute now. Just bubble gum and duct tape.
Duct tape holding it together, baling wire holding the exhaust on.
Have you narrowed down what causes it for you? Like for the kidney stones, like. Do you notice like a trend? Like obviously with the diverticulitis, certain things kind of cause the inflammation, but
so I think it was fast food.
Yeah,
I really do. Fast food and Diet Coke.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I totally laid off the Diet Coke, and I'm a Diet Coke
That's
fan.
your thing.
Yeah.
That's your
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Man.
Yep. Especially when I was drinking Diet Coke, and actually I can't even say that because that'd be lying because I haven't. Before this podcast, I only had a few drinks here and there, like literally few. Yeah. But the Diet Coke and the fast food, he said those are like a.
And would you was that trying to say was that like a work thing? You know, always
Being on the road.
You know, being on the road. Hey, I need something
Quick and easy.
That's, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I told my wife when I got home today, I'm like, I am bringing my lunch with me every single day.
That's where it's at,
Yep.
man.
But even with the diverticulitis, I learned to what food I could eat on the road that was still healthy.
Yeah.
Like Cumberland Farms, go get a salad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of these fast food places have pretty decent salads.
Yep.
You just can't go with all the nonsense. So I usually just take that off, and I had like fat-free dressing.
Yeah, keep an eye on it. You have your own dressing because the dressings they give are questionable.
Yeah, it's like eating a Big Mac on your salad.
Exactly.
You know, and
it is even McDonald's like their dressing. McDonald's like when you use their dressing, it shoots the calories and fat up to like a double cheeseburger.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. It's nuts.
Oh man,
What?
yeah.
But you know,
That's
a salad's
crazy.
a salad. Like you know, they can only make it so bad for you without put it. So if you have your own dressing that you know is
That
reasonably
actually
healthy,
make
it's
it
a good
does
way
make
to deal with
does
that.
make
Yeah,
sense.
look it up. It's crazy.
I looked at a package one day and I almost threw up. I was like, oh my God, I'm eating a Big Mac. So I might as well just go get the Big Mac.
Yeah.
But you know what I heard the other day too? I was watching this special, like, so with diverticulitis and stuff, it's all about inflammation, right?
Yeah.
And the pockets open up, and food has made a lot of people have horrible bouts of inflammation. And that's what a lot of
It's the
issues come from, right?
The you know, I mean, I used to explain this to friends of mine all the time because I went through bad bouts of, you know, being unhealthy. I mean, I think I told you about it years ago. And my cholesterol, my blood pressure. I mean, I literally walked out of the doctor's office thinking I'm going to die at any minute because he's like, you're on the verge of a stroke and stuff. And, you know, started eating better and started reading up on stuff. You know, I mean, we're all, you know, older. You remember when you opened up a box of cereal and if you didn't close it tight, that shit was stale the next day. Now you could open it up, you could leave it for a week and it's still fresh. It's like, that's not right. You know, that's the chemicals they put in it.
Yeah, well, you're talking about chemicals. So when my plumber came over to fix that main line, I noticed that I asked him, "What's all the pink stuff in my bathroom? Like, where's the slime come from?" That's they put that in the pipes to keep everything flowing, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm drinking that nonsense? And a long time ago, I kind of switched to filtered water. So now I have him coming back, and he's going to put in a whole house filter, so I don't have to deal with that anymore. But I look at that in the bathtub, and I'm like, that's in my guts.
Oh, I thought those were mineral deposits.
No, it's the slime. The pink is
they
the
added at the reservoir.
Oh, no kidding.
Stuff. Yep, where it comes through when it's a thing. It's supposed to be like a sealer for the pipes. It actually has fluoride in it and stuff. And it's a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
that's why I don't.
Yeah, mind control.
Mind control.
Yep.
You know what's
They're
funny?
calcifying your pineal gland.
It's crazy the stuff because I have the same thing. We're always like, what is this pink ring in the tub or in the toilet? You know, even at the shop we have it in the toilet. You know, it's like there's a pink ring all the time.
Yep.
You know, if it doesn't get used for a while.
Those
and it's
bastards
like,
killing
what
us off
is
with the
that?
water.
And,
I'm telling you.
And my friend, same thing, plumber said, "Oh no, it's an additive they put in the water."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What?" I go, "And we drink this." Well,
and
I
then-
don't drink it. I don't drink any of it.
Yeah. So we get bottled water now, or we get the
Yep.
big. We did the 3-gallon things to go up on the
dispenser
cooler.
thing.
Yeah.
Dispensers.
But I'm really thinking about just having a company deliver it to us. But there's a spring in Munson, a natural spring. Mm-hmm. I think that land is for sale now, but there's like 1 million people that go there with their bottles.
Yeah.
Fill it up on the
You
natural
just fill it,
spring.
and you just fill it up there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
So-
we do the delivery thing. Like we
Do you really?
Yeah, we have I think it's Nestle actually, because you know we had it for the business, and you know my wife and I were talking one day, and I'm like, why don't we just get one for the house too? You know, so we went and bought the thing instead of like renting. We actually bought 2 of them because originally when we took the business over, they were renting. So either way, we bought one, liked how it was working. And I'm like, let's get one for the house. So now that's what we do, and you know we have one, and she just orders double, you know, for the store, and we keep some at home. And
So
I
what
love
does that
it.
set you back?
The piece of equipment I think was like 100 and something, maybe it was under $200. And we bought the one that does hot water also. So like you want to make a tea, or like the kids use it for oatmeal or something like that, or like a cup of noodle. It's like push button hot water, you know. So that one's a little bit more expensive. And then the jugs of water are only a few bucks.
That's it, yeah.
You know, for 5 or 6 gallons.
And do you have to buy so many at a clip? Or is it how many you need?
But there's a delivery charge. So when we do it, we make it count, you know, because we don't want to, we'd rather do less deliveries and pay that extra delivery charge. You know, we could have them come once a week or once a month. So we try to like stretch it out so we're not paying the whatever it is, $10 or $15 to have them bring it.
Yeah.
But you can buy them. You can refill them, I think, at the grocery stores. You know, we do it just because it's convenient for the business.
I want everything delivered now. I'm getting to a point in my life where I want everything delivered.
Oh, you must love Amazon.
I do, and I'm not going to be happy until Amazon is delivering my shit with drones. That's when I'll finally be.
That's
be
when
nice and content.
you'll finally be like, okay, I'm at peace.
Like within an hour via drone.
Well, you know, like
you.
in New York City and stuff, they have bicycle guys that'll go out and deliver it to you. Like on a street corner, like you can tell them what corner you're on, and they'll deliver it.
Yep.
I saw this guy the other day that was really cool. He was going around to a lot of the homeless population and ordering stuff for them. You know, what do you need right now? The guy's like, I need a jacket and socks. He's like, boom, wait right here, don't move. Within an hour, that bicycle guy comes down. Hey, I've got a guy with a jacket, you know, shoes, whatever. Yeah, right here. And they were going around documenting this. And this guy, that's a lot of his day.
Yeah.
He's like a multimillionaire, but that's what he does. He goes around and
just buys like things via direct messenger. Wait here, this is coming for you.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, how
That's
insane
awesome.
is that? You know,
Yeah.
That's great though.
It is.
Well, that's the thing right now. Everybody's had to, this past year, everybody's had to kind of think out of the box. Like, what else can I do? What else can I expand on? You know, not just delivery, but what else is there for me to do? Whether it's your business, whether it's somebody else's business, whether you're assisting. You know what I mean? It's again, you got to think this past year, people's minds have expanded like through the roof.
Yeah.
In the
Because
newer,
nothing can be done the normal way anymore.
No.
Like
Yeah.
everything had to
Right.
change.
Right.
yeah,
So
big time change, man. It's changed.
You know,
a
Did you Zoom a year and a half ago?
No.
Yeah. Did anybody know what Zoom was?
Right. You didn't know what
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah.
Now it's like
You know.
it's a household. It's
Yeah.
it's the new Google and Alexa and
Yeah.
you know it's Zoom. You know, you do everything from
Right.
meetings to parties.
Right. Well, I did a Microsoft Teams call this morning.
Yeah.
with a
Or
client.
Teams obviously
Yeah.
is the other one. They stepped up
Yeah.
their game. Microsoft with
Yeah.
Teams they sure did.
And they were loving it this morning. They're like, "This is so cool."
Yeah.
I'm like, "We can do more of these," and you
Right.
get to touch like so many more people
Right.
and have so many more talking points with people than you can. Like if I had to drive out there, then drive to the next place. You know, you're talking hours in between
Right.
where I can get done with somebody and then 5 seconds later have another meeting with somebody else. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So do you think like automation will take over tattooing? I see a lot
Never.
of videos where
I don't think it
robotics
will.
is starting to come
No,
out.
can't take the artist out of the. You know, you can't take the artist out of the art.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, you know, I think there'll be machines, but I don't think people will really go to them because they won't be able to develop a relationship. Well, how do you develop a relationship with a machine? You know,
Right,
It's
true.
like, yeah, you know, you'd be back in the day, in the old day. You know, you pick it, I stick it. You know, it's like there's no art there anymore.
Yeah.
That's it. You know,
Plus, there's so many variables that like I don't think a machine could ever adapt to. You know, even just like the type of skin and like someone moves or just getting them in the right position. Like you can't.
Exactly.
You'd have to lock someone in place. You know,
Yeah.
and then you have to stretch and pull and manipulate the skin. Like it takes some serious AI
It
to get to
does.
that point. You know, at a mechanical level to replace. I mean that.
I don't think it'll ever. Not tattooing. Although tattooing nowadays, it has changed so drastically. You know, I mean,
So tell me more about that. What's changed versus when
now
you first got in?
I'm using battery-powered machines that are completely cordless.
Oh, the
they're,
little-
Wow.
they're Bluetooth.
The
Really?
USB rechargeable ones.
It's not even USB. It's got a battery on it that's
Oh, that's right. It's like a detachable battery.
yeah,
pack,
it's like
right?
a detachable
Yeah.
battery that you snap on. You can throw it on there and charge it, put the next one on, and everything. But it's
Using a rotary?
It's it's
Yeah.
a rotary pen style.
Yeah.
It's not even a rotary. They won't even consider it. They just call it pen style now, and stuff. And it's all fully self-contained. Pop a cartridge in. Once you're done with the cartridge, throw it away. Done.
Wow.
It's so much cleaner, so much nicer. It runs so smooth.
I was gonna say.
Everybody that I have since I got that machine, even one guy I had tattooed, I did his outline, and then he came back, and I actually broke the machine and had to send it back because I break everything. So I had to send it back. They warranted it, of course, but I had to use my old machine, which was another pen style, but it wasn't cordless. It was kind of older, and he was like, dude, he goes, where's that other machine? I go, it's back in Miami getting fixed. He's like, he goes, I don't like this machine. It doesn't run as smooth. And I'm like,
My most recent work was
how
with
would
one of
you
those.
know?
Did you really? Yeah.
Yeah, the last bit of work I had done on my arm was done with one of those little rechargeable ones. It was super cool.
Yeah, it's
completely
incredible.
silent.
It's
Just like-
completely silent.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I talked to my phone to turn the thing on and off.
Oh, you didn't have that when you did mine, though, right?
No.
No.
No, I
Now it's
didn't
time
have
for another
that.
tattoo. I
It's,
gotta
It's
What
great.
I-
And now iPads, iPad Pro and everything like that. And then, the new they have a new stencil machine, inkjet and everything that literally can take a portrait like what's hanging there and print it as a stencil with the gradations in it. So you don't have to, most of the time it's
yeah,
just
it's
liner.
yeah.
doing
Oh
it.
no, it's just like a perfect, if you got to do a portrait, it prints it out perfect. It's like, all right, you just made that paint by numbers.
Yeah, color by numbers. I was gonna say that.
You took all the all the difficulty out of it, really.
Yeah.
Unless you erased the stencil.
So
But,
what's your specialty?
Oh, I like that, man. I've been really focusing now more towards Japanese, traditional black and gray. That's it. I don't do any of that stipple-y stuff, the dot work and everything like that. I don't do any of the geometric stuff and stuff. I just don't. It's not my thing.
Sure.
I have a crew that, I got a girl there that loves to do it. That's her main thing.
So let's give a shout out to your crew.
Oh, my crew. My God. I got Matt Blanchard working for me. He's an awesome artist, incredible artist. Got my nephew Mitchell, who started with me when he was 17,
No way.
answering the phone and stuff. Started off answering the phone. Then we taught him how to pierce. Then one day he was like, I want to tattoo myself. And he wasn't, that was the best part. He wasn't even 18 yet. We were just like, okay. He was like, I want to tattoo myself. So I called my sister and I'm like, hey, can Mitchell tattoo himself? And she's like, what is he going to do? I go, a little flower on his ankle. She goes, no, let him do a pig. And I was like, okay. I go, hey, man, your mom said no flower, do a pig. And, so I let him, he took a pig stencil, put it on his leg, and tattooed it. And she was like, no, I meant let him tattoo like pig skin. I was like, what?
Yeah, we don't do that
Yeah,
anymore.
we don't do that here, okay? So, like literally he was, 17 years old, tattooed, and now he's one of my main guys too.
Wow.
And stuff. Yeah, and then I got Jimmy Boucher. He's awesome too. Military guy, retired. Then I got what's her name? Felicia. I can't pronounce her last name. I really can't. So, she's incredible too. She's the one, she loves that geometric and stuff like that, very ornate stuff.
Yeah.
I left the shop today and she showed me, oh yeah, check out this outline. And I'm like, oh man, fuck you. God, that's incredible. It's super clean. The outline is just so geometrically perfect, going from this girl's top of her thigh all the way to her ankle. And I'm like, yeah. I used to be able to tattoo like that. Like, you're a bitch. But yeah, she's incredible. She just came on a couple weeks ago. She came to work.
Oh, wow.
And already showing it, right?
Yeah, she's been tattooing for about 7-8 years and stuff, and wasn't happy at the shop she was at, I guess. She was just looking to make a change, and she told the owners that, I'm looking to get out and make a change. Now, it wasn't just she wasn't happy. She was just looking to expand.
Sure.
And stuff. And she, came in one day. She actually got tattooed from Mitchell and said she was looking for a job. And I was like, let's see your work. And saw her work, and wow. It's so funny because you look at her portfolio and then you look at what she does. And it's like, you can't take pictures for shit, can you? It's like, no, I suck at taking pictures. I go, have Matt take them for you. He's really good at it and stuff. But yeah, she's incredible. And then I got Rachel. She apprenticed at the shop, and she's more part-time because she has a small daughter. Once her daughter gets into school, she's an incredible, very dark image artist. If you like the dark, really macabre, that girl, I'm just like, man, I don't even want to know what the fuck is going on in your head. You're a young, pretty girl, but who draws shit like that?
Yeah, that's why I love artists. Like when I look at their stuff,
and
you're like, where do you find? I can't even draw a straight line.
Yeah.
Never mind, learn how to shade like that. And I'll show you guys my tattoos later on tonight. But Scott sees things at a different way of thinking. And his outlines and his shading are just and I know it's years of cultivating your craft, but Some of these people, like
there's some
like you
guys
said, like
out
where
there
does she
now.
get that whole darkness
Yeah,
from?
where
does
I
she
wanna know more about
That's
that.
what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
It's-
what makes you an artist, because
Yep.
not everybody's gonna do the same thing.
No.
Everybody's got their technique, their thought, their images, their imagery. Everybody's different,
Yeah.
and when you put it down, or when you hey, can I get this? And like you were saying earlier, maybe not that, but hey, let's change this up a little bit, because you know,
Yeah,
you
I
have
can
like
see
that
it
thought.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's times where people come in and they'll give me an idea, and I'll go home and I'll start working on it and everything, and then I'm like, oh, this is the worst fucking thing I've ever drawn, And it's like, but boy, it sounded really good when they explained it to me, you know. And it's like, this is not happening.
That honesty that you have with people, like this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. I'm not going to mislead you. I've got, well, you know what? We call that when the customer runs away with the tattoo. When they just keep piling shit on and shit on and shit on. And it's just like, okay, this has just turned into a dumpster fire. Okay, and it's like, what am I going to do with this? And it's just like, okay, usually it's like, now we got a good excuse. I think I got COVID. I got to go home. You're going to have to reschedule. But
So if you have somebody who's kind of new to the tattoo world, thinking about getting a tattoo, what are some of the tips that you can give them? Because we've all seen some really shitty tattoos out there.
Yeah.
And no one's ever said to them, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So
and that's just it. You listen to the artist. One, make sure you're with the right artist, because I've seen people come in and I went to so and so and I don't like the way he did it. I'm like, what'd you get? I got a fairy. Did you look through his portfolio? Because they don't really do fairies and stuff. That's not his forte and everything. Oh. No, and then they show it to me, and it's like, yeah, I wonder why it looks like that. It's like that.
First fairy the guy ever did.
Yeah, it's like the first fairy the guy ever did, because he's, he only does neo-traditional and stuff, and it's like, I'm not into realistic fairies. And
right,
stuff. And it's like, really research the artist you want to go to and stuff. Don't just go because your friend went there and stuff. It's like, okay, you got to research the artist, look at their work. If you like their work, talk to them and everything. And, even then, there's some people out there, I've had it, where I've gone to see people and I talk to them about getting a tattoo from them. And they're like, nah, I'm not your artist and stuff. And they refer me. Oh, okay, go to this guy.
Sure,
I was looking for something specific and stuff.
See, that's crazy, because anywhere that I've gone, it's just basically been, hey, I'm going here, I'm gonna get it. Nobody has had, that conversation. Nobody has said, or hey, I was referred to go to here because you do this better than somebody else, or this shade is better, or hey, I got color. Sometimes color won't sit.
Yeah.
You might want to go to this shop because they can do it a little better. Like, it's funny you say that, because I've never heard that.
Oh, I do it all the time. Or even, and that's the biggest thing in the shop. In my shop, I have a very diversified crew right now. Nobody tattoos alike. There's not one that you can distinctively, if a piece walks in, you know who did it, because everybody's different and they specialize in all different stuff.
I love that.
And stuff. Because like Matt,
Same
I
thing.
hired Matt. Matt was
Someone who can do
traditional
something
Yeah.
if you want it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just traditional, all color, no black and gray. Now all he does is black and gray, realistic, no color work, fine line. He used to be all bold line.
Oh,
It's
really?
like- yeah. And you look back at his older work, and he just cringes. He's like, oh, that's
That's
what
what it sounded like as you're describing everybody that works there is they got this skill.
Yeah.
She has this skill.
Yeah.
He's got this skill. You have it covered throughout the whole shop.
You don't want to shop. Like I know of shops where you can walk in there and you can't tell one artist from the other artist.
Everybody just does the same
Everybody
style.
does the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because it's like when you see their posts too, they'll post something online. It's like, what, were they having a sale on green highlights today? Because it seems like it ran through the whole shop. Everybody's doing green highlights. And it's like, what happened there?
Well,
They have a
even with
meeting
my-
in the morning. All right, guys.
Yeah.
What are we doing today?
It is green highlights. Or
Green
nothing.
highlights. 1, 2, 3.
highlights.
Everybody all in. All right, here we go.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with those shops. I mean, they do phenomenal work, but it's all, you can't you can't really distinguish them, but they grow off of each other. I mean,
Yeah.
there are some people out there that I'd love to pick their brain, because it's just like, how did you do that? You know, and stuff. And me being 30 years in, and I'm still learning from guys that are only 8 years in.
Yeah.
And stuff, because I'm not gonna say I mastered it. When you think you've mastered it, somebody's going to show you up big time.
It's funny. I had to sit down with my daughter a couple of years ago, and she wanted a tattoo and to memorialize my father too.
Yeah.
And first she said she wanted it on her back, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. So my wife was also going to have a tattoo done. I don't know if it was the same day or did she come back when she had the hummingbird on?
I think it was this.
It was the same day, right? I think it was the same day.
The same day I did the roses.
Yeah.
And the
I think
on
so.
her on
Yeah.
her arm. Yeah.
So I wanted to make it kind of like a special day. So I got out of work early. I didn't tell him I was going to be down there, and I went to go down to surprise him. And I come in, and she's having it done on her arm. I go, that wasn't part of the plan. And he looks up at me, and he goes, I got it, man. That rose never would have worked on the back.
Yeah.
And
it was just a
Yeah.
odd shaped design.
Yep.
And stuff. It would have looked like a bookend on the corner of her shoulder. It's just, and that's just it. It's like, you got to put the design where it's going to look good on the body and stuff. Because the body, and I just, every time, we see it all the time where, and I'm not going to pick on the people, but they don't know how to lay out. There's actually books out there on how to lay out designs.
You could pick on them.
Yeah.
And stuff. But I've seen stuff come in, and it's just like, what the hell are they fucking thinking, man? This whole thing's backwards and stuff. And you could tell because it doesn't really go. And it's like, because it's backwards. It's the flow is completely backwards.
Yeah, but once you said that's where it's got to go, like I didn't even second guess that. But that's the one of the really important things about having that relationship is when you have to make changes.
Yeah, when you
trust that person. Like, okay, I got it. I understand.
And there's times where I've worked on people. I've worked on drawings and I've gotten them onto the skin, and I literally sat there and went, "No, I'm not doing it." And they're like, "Why?" And I'm like, "It looks like shit," And it's just like, because you got to remember, it's from paper is flat.
Right.
You bend it around the body and stuff, and it just it didn't come. It doesn't look the way I want it to look. Okay,
Right.
And they're like, "No, it looks incredible." And they're like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah,
You're just the you're the consumer. I got to do this." Okay. And
Well, I'll never forget too. I had my daughter's name in Japanese down my spine. So he sits me down. He goes, "Now, you sure this is what it means?" Because I'm telling you right now. And I had it. I had it double checked just to make sure, right? But it was kind of funny because years down the road, I was doing the. It wasn't called the Kielbasa Festival; it was called the Chicopee Festival.
the Chicopee,
Festival,
Chicopee.
And I knew this guy from back in the day, spoke Japanese, and his mom was there, and his mom was cooking in one of the trucks. And I said, "Hey, can I show you something real quick? Because I just wanted to double check." And so he was joking around with me, and he's like, "You know what that says, right?" And I'm like, "No." And he goes, and I can't really say it on the air, but he goes, I go, "That's bullshit. I'm going to go talk to his mom." So I went over there, and I said, "Hey, can I show you something?" And I showed it to her. She goes, "Oh, that's a beautiful name." And she goes, "That must be your daughter." And I'm like, "Thank God that's the real name." And I look at my friend, and he's like, "I almost had you, man." But I appreciate the fact that you sat me down and like, "Are you sure you know what this means?"
Well, that's now though.
Right.
Okay. It's based on pronunciation, and she could decipher because she probably knows English.
Right.
The name. Okay. Now in Japanese, that just because it says whatever, we'll say Annette, okay? Well, Annette in Japanese could mean, two dogs fucking under a full moon, okay? You don't know. It's based on pronunciation, not meaning. and
Right,
everything,
right.
But she knew the English dialect to transfer it.
Yeah.
But you don't know
like-
and stuff because it's like... Because I love it when people come in and they're like, I want my kid's name in Japanese. I go, do I look Japanese? No, I'm not Japanese. You want to go get it for me? I'll tattoo it, but...
See, that's what your shop is missing.
I'm about to find this guy and his wife, man. Make sure I get my shit.
So what's the worst tattoo you've ever seen
The worst one I've ever seen?
that you had to work on and try to cover up? And what was that conversation like?
Oh, God. I'm working on one now that's pretty freaking bad and stuff. That one had to be, it was bad. It was supposed to be an angel and everything, which Usually when people come in and they're like, yeah, I want an angel with my kid's name. I'm like, is your kid dead? And they're like, no. And I go, why do you want a memorial?
Good point.
It's just like, oh, I want to cross my kids' names. What, are they dead? No. And I go, that's a memorial. Just like most portraits are memorials. They're not, you don't, hey, Jeff's still alive, but I'm going to get his portrait off my arm. It's like,
there's me.
He's not dead yet. Yeah, so it was like, it was an angel with her son's name, but that angel was busted, man. I covered it all up and everything. 3 sittings, but it was pretty bad. It was like, man, she even said it. She goes, I don't know what's going on with the eye.
That's all this way.
I was like, it's, and I'm trying to, because you don't know. People could, they have sentimental value.
Sure.
And you don't want to trash anybody's tattoo. We had that happen once where Kevin, my counter guy, you remember Kevin?
Yeah.
He doesn't work for me anymore, but literally, woman come in, she's like, yeah, I want to see if I can get this fixed. And he was like, who the fuck did that? And stuff. And this woman started crying and everything. And come to find out it was my banker. She worked in my bank and stuff. So, yeah I'm like, yeah.
Your account's going to be overdraft soon.
Sorry about all those fees.
Boom, boom,
God damn it, Kevin, but you got to watch that stuff. So, it's like, and she's like really trash talking this guy. And I'm like, look, it's not that bad. If you want to fix it, we could probably fix it. She goes, no, I want to cover it. So it took me 3 sittings, 3 long, like 4 or 5 hour sittings to cover it. But it took on most of her leg and stuff. But she loves it.
Yeah.
Actually, her friend's got an appointment with me tomorrow, and she was like, she absolutely loves that tattoo. She goes, she can't believe that you took that and made it into that and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it was difficult, but we did it.
Yeah. Well, my next appointment with you, we're gonna go
the rest
full.
of the way.
We're gonna go all the way to the hand. Because the business I'm in now, it's all about tattoos. So.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah, I mean,
just not on the head.
It's not on the head. Anything from here.
The neck.
Neck is okay.
Yeah, certain parts of the neck. Like I don't mind the one on the the side. Like when it starts encroaching right here and stuff. That's
no.
I'm gone all the way down to where the point. And that's it. I won't do my neck. I won't do my head and stuff. I already get freaky looks now at the airport, man.
So how about the gin and juice is talking right now? So
there we go.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, now it's an interview.
Let it out.
Have you ever done a tattoo? Terrible tattoo. It's terrible. Person walks out and you're like, just shake your head like,
yep.
I can't believe they wanted that.
Yep.
Can't believe they wanted that.
I've done it. And that was, and I'm getting pickier and pickier about the stuff, you know. It's like, and I've taken on stuff where I shouldn't have taken it. And I wish somebody, that's part of being an apprentice and everything like that. Yeah. And after I left my first shop and everything, and they taught me really well, but it was outside a Navy base. And then I went to a shop in New York City where the guy just let me do whatever the fuck I wanted. Yeah. And, oh, boy, I fucked people up. And so it was like, ooh, yeah, not so good.
Yeah, because everybody comes in there like, nope, this is what I want. Yep. This is it. And again, it seems like you talk to them, you try to, connect with them and like, oh, maybe you should do this. But they're like, no. This is it. Yep. This is what I want. And you're like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
and we
and then they leave, and then you look at everybody else.
One
and
like
like
that one time.
Can't believe they want.
Like that guy never comes back.
Like that's what they wanted.
You think about closing your shop and moving?
You're like, I'm not bragging about that.
One. And I flat out oh man, I got into a fight with a guy. And come to find out, I didn't even know this. He was a police officer and everything. But I didn't know the symbol. I thought the symbol he wanted was racial. And I was like, fuck you, I ain't doing it and shit. And I threw him out of the shop, and come to find out it was some Irish thing. I felt like an asshole after that. And it was like, dude, he's a cop. Oh, crap. No. Oh. Yeah.
Serves him right, though. You're out of here.
He left me a bad review.
Anybody famous?
That's a good one.
That was a good one. When I worked down in New York, I actually tattooed the center of the New Jersey Devils when they won the Stanley Cup. And it was kind of funny because I looked at, the guy comes in, he's like, yeah, I want a New Jersey Devil holding the Stanley Cup. And I was like, oh, cool. And he like, get a picture of the Stanley Cup, and he hands me a Sports Illustrated. And I was like, oh, you play? Oh, that's you on the cover.
I'll be right back. Let me go stencil this.
Yeah, you know, I was like, oh, that's you on the cover. Oh, okay, you know, it was just it was a small tattoo. It was something to memorialize, you know, they won the Stanley Cup and everything. But yeah, that was about the only famous person, really. I mean, I don't really get starstruck. I could have tattooed famous people and not even known it because
right
I
here,
don't really, yeah, you
this is true right here. We're all famous.
I you know, I don't recognize people ever. You know, like we were down at the Cape, and I'm sitting there, and they're like, "Dude, that's Meg Ryan next to you." Oh, it is?
You want a tattoo?
I'm like, wow.
Business card.
You know, yeah, it's like, you know, and you know, because I guess she owns a house down there, and she flies in and out there, but she's standing right next to me. I don't even notice her. I'm like,
Oh boy.
yeah, and they're like, I don't get, you know, I don't watch TV. That's another one. I don't watch a lot of TV. I draw a lot, and I'm out in the garage a lot.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Busy building that plane.
Yeah.
The airplanes, motorcycles, you name it. I'm into everything.
Yeah.
Anything that goes fast and dangerous,
You're all in. Now,
Yeah.
what do you have for tattoos?
Shoot.
I see some claw marks going down the arms.
The Hulk's one of my alter egos, so that's what I got. Like, and again, I've never gone to the same person, so it's always been something different. So this was actually Cancun. I was down there. I said, screw it. I said, let me go down to Cancun. Got these done. You know, green skin, ripping through. My first one, this was a bear claw. This was my college
number. Yeah.
32 was my college football number.
Yeah.
We were the Bears, so that was my first one. Got my son's name, Josiah, with a crown, like King Josiah.
Yeah.
Princess Vanessa. I have my daughter on this side. Praise God. Hopefully, and I know it is in Chinese, but Chinese says praise God with some tribal around it. Superman on my chest.
It's a big one too.
Yeah.
Is it?
Like right across my chest.
Nice.
Crazy thing again is that I have in Chinese Superman written here.
Yep.
Now, I have gotten massages. And they seen it and they're like, "Oh, Superman." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "It's all good." So I'm like, "It works."
It's usually, you know, the dialects now are pretty good. You know,
so that works.
They stick to the one dialect and everything, and that's it.
I
Yeah.
have my mother's name. My mother died of breast cancer, so I have her with the ribbon on a cross with the date with her birth dates on my back. Big flame. I'm always my whole thing is I'm always watching. So I have a big like flame on my back with an eyeball in the middle, eyeball on my leg. My worst tattoo is I saw this. I think it was when like T5 or T4 came out or something like that. It was like, oh, they got this robotic tattoo.
Oh, you got
on
a
your
biomech
ankle.
tattoo?
First of all, my ankle is here and the ankle on the tattoo is up high. So it's freaking awful.
That makes sense.
So there might be a cover up
Cover-up.
coming soon on that one.
Yeah. As long as it's not biomech.
Crazy. I could probably say this on this. I know it's live and everything like that, but I have a tattoo around my stomach from college because some girl, she was crazy about Dennis Rodman and wanted me to get a Dennis Rodman tattoo. So
What we do for the girls.
okay.
So wait a minute,
So-
what do you have?
It's
Please don't tell me you got a
do you have
portrait
the
of Dennis
sun?
Rodman.
No. It's just kind of the same tattoo he had around his
okay.
stomach. So I got the same thing. So
Yeah,
I
it's like
was
a tribal sun. Around
Yeah.
the belly button.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me do that. And I got bored after one, and I said, I'll put your name on my ass. So I have like your name scripted on my ass.
Wow. We definitely got to see that one.
So the funny thing is I came home and I had gotten the Hulk eyes done on both biceps. And I said, hey, I said to my wife, I go, hey, I got bored and I put your name on my ass. She's like, oh my God, like you put my like me on your body? I go, yeah, like I put your name on my ass. And I go, literally, I put your name. She's like, oh my God, you kidding me? Like, what the freak?
Say I love you, but not that much.
Yeah. I have yet never put a wife's name on me. No, I got my daughter's name. That's it. I won't even put my son's name.
Now, do you have people coming in that have names that they need covered up?
Oh my God, man.
Like how many times does that happen?
It's like a curse. Everybody knows that. You don't do it. Like you don't. My wife doesn't get why I won't.
Oh man,
have it
never.
done.
It's the curse of death.
See?
It's right there.
You ask any good artist, and they'll tell you, like, don't want to do this.
Really?
And you know, it's so funny because I always tell
I know
people,
you
it's
see, look at
just-
he's got so many stories, man.
Oh man, do I have stories? Shit, man. Oh my God. The best one ever was a shop I worked at in Connecticut where a woman comes in. Now I didn't do the tattoo. She comes in. She had an appointment with one of the other artists, and I'm tattooing. And she's like, you know, we were all in what we call corral style tattoo in one big room, and she has her corner over there. This woman comes in, sits down for a piece from this other artist, and she gets tattooed, and it's got to do with the husband's name and everything like that. And the artist that did it, you know, she planned on being at the shop for like 3 hours. Artist did it in like an hour. Okay, so woman leaves. Like hour and a half goes by. She comes back and she's crying. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh.
What's wrong? You know, and artist's like, did I do something wrong? She goes, no, I went home and I caught my husband in bed with my best friend.
Oh,
You thought she was going to be gone longer. Oh,
I need this taken off.
And she's like, how can I get rid of this? And he goes, go home and pour bleach on it. And that's about the only thing I
Oh,
can
my
tell
God.
you. You know? But it was just so funny. He goes, man, you know, I don't know what to tell you, you know.
Oh.
But yeah, he thought, you know, like he was freaking out. Like he thought he misspelled something or something like that. He was like, oh, shit, what did I do? And she's like, I caught it with my best friend and stuff. And
Wow.
like, and you know, the whole time she was getting tattooed. Oh, we've been married for 30 years, and
Oh.
it's been bliss and
Yeah.
all this.
The love of my life.
As you're doing the tattoo, this is happening.
This is
And then-
happening back home and everything. And I mean, this poor, I felt so bad for her. I literally
That's-
did. Like she was distraught and everything.
I have no words.
No,
Yeah.
no. At least I would have made that person pay for my
Like
tattoo.
we didn't even want to, you know, like she was so distraught. It was like, okay, where are you going right now? Because we don't even want you getting behind the wheel. Okay, we're afraid you're going to go ram your car through their house or something. But yeah, it was pretty bad. But
Because
yeah,
it's
that's
been
right.
done, man.
Oh,
Damn.
it was, but yeah, the
dirty.
name tattoos definitely. My biggest thing: kids, parents, pets. There are only 3 things that'll always stay in your life.
Yeah.
and stuff. That's it.
That's a good point.
Yep.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
You know, your parents will always be your parents. Your kids are always going to be your kids, and your pets will always love you unconditionally.
Yeah.
and stuff. And that's it. Don't ever do a spouse's name. And I always tell people that, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, you're kind of right." And you know,
why I tell
then I have
Cheryl.
the people that lie to me.
Not
yeah.
happening.
That's what I tell. And every time I come home with like some fresh ink, I don't see my name on it. I'm like, listen, I'm like, it's a curse. You don't do it.
Say you want to get
And she's
divorced,
like,
I'll
"You
go
got
do it right now.
That's what I said. I'm like, is this what you want?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm like, I got the kids' initials because they'll always be my kids, even if at
Yeah.
some point they don't like me or I don't like them. Like they're still
They're
my
still
kids.
your blood.
you
Yep.
know.
And stuff. Yep.
And I love my wife, and I've been with her for 24 years now.
Wow.
You know, but that's just I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
No.
So the one I have on my right arm is a Yosemite Sam of my son. That's
That's way back.
as of last week. That's 27 years old.
That's way back.
Remember that?
Damn.
Man,
27 years old.
Yeah,
That
man.
that's
kid.
insane.
Yep. And
I think I remember when you got that.
Where'd you get it done? Papillons?
God, where did I get
That
it
was the
done?
place.
Edge.
No, that was in. I got it done in Connecticut.
Yeah, would have had to be because
No, it wasn't
legal
Papillons.
and
It wasn't
There was
Papillons.
Edge. there was
Edge,
Exodus,
Papillon.
Body graphics.
Body graphics.
Ah,
Yep.
shit. I
And his name was Scott.
Oh, fuck.
His name was Scott.
I was the only Scott that worked
No, it
there.
wasn't you. It wasn't
Yeah.
you. It was a blonde haired guy.
No, that was
Back then.
No, that had to be Papillons.
No,
Scott.
it was definitely Body Graphics. I didn't do Papillons.
I didn't know. I was the only Scott that worked at Body Graphics.
Well, maybe it wasn't Scott, but it was a blonde haired guy. But I could have sworn his name was
Tim.
Scott. Tim. That's what it was. Tim.
Yeah, Tim
Yes.
Brewer. He's
Tim.
still
Yeah.
tattooing. He owns Blueprint Gallery.
Blueprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did my first 2 tattoos.
Yep, Tim
Yeah.
Brewer.
Did he
yeah.
really? Yeah.
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 I was
So-
like, blonde hair
And
guy.
It's
yeah.
faded a little bit,
Yeah.
but the integrity of the tat's still there.
He's,
You know?
from like he did it my first couple, and he did it, a lot of my friends have been going to him for 20 something years, and the way that his artwork has evolved is amazing. Like I got see it firsthand, like on my friends, and I've had some work done by him, and man, like he's just like continues to improve.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody does.
Yeah, everybody
If you
is, but,
don't,
like-
everybody progresses. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, we see stuff from years ago, and actually somebody just said, what was it? 1998 piece I did or something. It was like, yeah, that looks like shit. But it was, I was still way back learning and stuff, and everybody progresses differently. And I mean, I've seen stuff from phenomenal artists that are in the area where they did it when they first started, and it's like, wow, man, you should go show it to them, just so they get that feeling like I get of, oh god, don't show me that. But no, it's everybody progresses. Nobody came out of the gate going, oh, I'm great.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way you can get better is by doing them. You know what I mean?
And that's why it's called a practice. They call it a tattoo practitioner. It's a practice. You're only going to get better and better and better as you get more experience.
I think I'm gonna have to drag up some pictures. I have some pictures of the old one. I'll have to drag them up and show you guys next time.
What was your first tattoo?
My first one?
Yeah.
Oh, I got the Chinese character for me on my leg. That's what it means. Me, I. And then I tattooed. This is even funny, right? My second tattoo I ever did was on my buddy Joe, who I ended up teaching him how to tattoo like years later and stuff. And he came in, and I was, still learning and everything like that. I put the stencil on him, go to do the front. I completely missed the goddamn. I mean, like literally, not by like, okay, here's the stencil line. It's like, okay, it's only no. I missed it by like a half inch.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I completely missed it, and he was like, "You're not getting off to a good start here, buddy." And years later, I ended up teaching him how to tattoo, and now he's down in Florida. Doing good.
Yeah,
he's down in Ormond Beach, Florida. He's been down there for years now.
Oh, wow.
Stuff. But yeah, he's doing real good down there. But yeah, he was so funny. He goes, "You're not starting off very well here." Yeah.
Say no, sir. We can move it.
Yeah, we're just gonna take that stencil off, move it over half inch.
Yeah, I mean, like completely missed it. But he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oops."
Yeah.
But there's plenty of times where there's stuff where you oops and stuff, and you just got to learn how to fix it. That's the biggest thing. Be an artist. That's what I tell everybody I teach. Be an artist. Not every outline's going to be perfect. People move. People feel pain and stuff. Not everything is perfect. Some people's skin sucks.
Yeah. Well, that last one you did for me, we were like 4.5 hours, and I'm like, dude, I can't anymore. I'm at my wit's end. And he's like, well, I got some, was it lidocaine or something like that?
Lidocaine, yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do that. I go, I'm never going to hear the end of it. And he's like,
especially from these guys.
Yeah.
You pussy, you can't take it.
He goes, you can do it. And he goes, it's okay. I'm like, are you sure? He goes, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
And it was only half an hour more, but I never would have made it that last half an hour.
Now
man.
we
But
got this new stuff.
And you had to be still the whole time.
I actually fell asleep at one point.
Yeah.
He's like, are you okay? And I was in the zone, man. I was using that as a time to connect with my dad.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, I'm out. And also, I kind of like up, and he's like, "Hey, you are alive." He goes, "I thought I lost you there for a little while."
I thought he passed out.
But so question like that, is that a good thing though? Like if somebody falls asleep,
Means they trust you and they're comfortable.
Yeah, I actually try to. I do the same thing. I kind of almost like go into like a meditative state, and I just kind of zone out, and like I'll kind of snap myself out of it just to not be rude, because like I want to have a conversation with my friend too. But sometimes like I just, I'm just gonna zone out and.
Yep.
No, that's what I do too. I zone out. I don't like people around. That's why I like the first shop we had was only half walls. Now it's all private.
Yeah.
I don't like people being around me. I don't want nobody talking to me. I just want to zone out and everything. Usually I wear earbuds when I get tattooed, and I'm just gone. And even Jimmy, the guy that did my back, was like, "Wow." He goes, "You just, whoo, you're gone, man." All of a sudden, I'm like, "Hello,"
because I know it. Sometimes you just get relaxed and whatever. But I didn't know if being asleep, then all of a sudden, if somebody's, you don't know how he is sleeping. He could be jumping around, or somebody that you're working on could be moving and doing
You could be a sleepwalker and just get up.
Start running around.
Turn around and get some.
Just start wrecking the place.
Step Brothers, where you start trashing the place.
Those are usually the people that pass out, that wake up and they don't know where they are when they go out, and it's so. Oh man, some of them are just like, where? And it's like, hey, you're at the tattoo shop. It's cool. You're all right. You're all right.
Are you pretty good at watching them, like knowing when that happens, and they start going?
Oh yeah. Oh man. The best one I ever had was just recently. It was actually on one of my son's friends. My son has known him since kindergarten and stuff. They went to kindergarten together. They went to all school together and everything. And it was so funny because he started getting tattooed from me, and I tattoo his whole family: his mom, his dad, his brothers, everything. And he comes in, and he's with his girlfriend. First time the girlfriend ever meets me, too. Oh. This is the best. So I'm tattooing them, and I'm like, hey, man, you all right? He looks right at me. He goes, nope. He goes, I'm going out. And he literally passes out and starts convulsing.
Oh, wow.
No.
So now the girlfriend is flipping out. Okay, like she's about to dial 911 on her cell phone. I'm like, whoa, just relax and everything.
This happens all the time.
I don't need the popo here. Shut that phone up.
This happens all the time. Relax, And I got him by the shoulder and everything, and I, just kind of smack him in the face. And he he wakes up and he just throws his arms up like that. And he's like, I'm okay. But it was just like, I was like, and the best is because I have a camera in my room now and everything, because I'm back there by myself. So there's, oh my God, when we reviewed it on the camera, it was the best because you could hear everything too. I was like, literally, you do a line and you're like, dude, you all right? And he's like, nope, I'm going out. And boom, he went out. And he goes, dude, it was so funny because she's freaking out. You're just like, put the machine down. Okay, got him. Wham! And he was like,
reset him.
I'm all right.
It was like, she's literally getting up, got her phone, running in circles and shit. And I was just like, it happens all the time. Relax, honey, relax. That was pretty funny. The first time I ever met the girl. Then he came back for another tattoo. I was like, oh, what's your girlfriend? Oh, we broke up. I'm like, oh.
She's the reason why I passed out.
Yeah. Good thing you didn't get her name.
I do have a little bit of anxiety about that when I go for a tattoo, like, because you always forget what the initial feels like when you start doing the outline, and then you start doing it, you're like, oh my God, how did I not remember this? And then you just got to get yourself in the zone, and then once that happens, man, it's you start getting in a rhythm. Yeah. I start getting in a rhythm, and it's like you just start.
Well, you get that burst of adrenaline, so you're good for at least an hour.
Yep.
But then 2.5 hours when it starts getting raw.
Yeah, like some people go like 7-8 hours. How do you do that?
Yeah,
a lot of Bactine and a lot of lidocaine.
We have this new stuff now called TKTX, and like literally you put it on, and it's like it numbs you.
Really?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I wish we had it years ago.
Well, I'll be using that next time.
Yeah, I wish I had it for most of my back and everything, especially around the sides.
You put it on before or after?
You put it on before. You put it on before, you take a nice hot shower, put it on, have somebody rub it in there if you're, and stuff, and get it rubbed in, and then put a layer over it, and then wrap it in saran wrap for an hour before you. And it lasts 4 hours.
Now you do that before the tattoo?
Before you come in for the tattoo.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like before you leave the house, you do this.
Before you leave the house, you do it.
Oh, no shit.
Damn.
Yeah, but I just can't get over how long it lasts.
Let me write that down because I'm going to need it.
We sell it at the shop.
Because I'm going to be doing the forearm soon.
The forearm's easy.
Forearm's
Is
easy.
it really?
Yeah.
Well, your daughter got it done.
Well, she's tougher than I am, I'm telling you right now.
Inside the back of the leg when you get up that high in the calf, and right here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, right in there.
Yeah.
Well, she did. She was like a rock the whole
never
time.
Moved.
She was like still like
She's
this.
so quiet. She's kind of creepy quiet. Man. She shows no emotion.
Well, I told her,
do you like it? Yeah.
Don't I look like I like it?
Yeah. Can't you see the expression on my face? I'm so happy.
Look how happy I am.
And your wife is like, oh my God, it's beautiful. And she's like, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, I told her when she was going, I'm like, you can't be disrespectful. You got to make sure you listen and don't move.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. So that's what she was like concentrating. She's like, Dad, I don't want to move.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, one wrong move and it's your arm. Right at that time, I thought it was her back. Until I got there.
Hey, the arm looks better. Looks way better on the arm.
It does. It does.
Last time I saw it when she came in last time. I saw it.
Yes, this is
because I completely confused your wife and your daughter, man. I was like, here I am thinking of tattooing your wife, and then your daughter shows up, and I'm like, who the hell are you? You know, because I don't know how, but I got all the numbers, but they're all under Jeff.
Yeah. Right, boys. We are at 2 hours already.
Wow, time flies.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth.
I looked down
Smooth
for a minute.
like
I'm just
Indiegogo or Indigo.
Indiegogo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, by the way, just going to throw it out there, and I'm never touching that shit again.
That's gonna be sitting for a while.
How many times have you said that in your drinking career?
You need to have an old priest and a young priest do something with that, because the devil lives in that bottle.
I'll find cocktails for that.
If you want,
trust me.
my I'm like them, one of them awkward tattoo artists. I don't do drugs, I drink a little bit. I fly airplanes, I ride motorcycles and stuff. But I am, religious. My brother-in-law's a priest. And stuff.
We got to have him on.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Let's have him start drinking
Father
that
Mike,
stuff.
oh, he loves to drink. That's
Does
the
he
best
really?
part. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Father Mike loves to drink.
Oh,
man.
God.
It's so funny because my kids go to Catholic school.
I'll tell you a real funny story before we go. I would have needed a priest like 13 years ago when I bought this house. So unfortunately, the guy who owned this house died right down the street of a heart attack in his car. And from what I understand,
he didn't die in the house.
No, he didn't die in the house.
That's good.
But he was definitely tied to this house. Like, he had a wood shop downstairs. Like, all my cupboards upstairs are handmade. And what I understand, he was a stand-up guy. Like, everybody loved him. So I'm getting ready to start this room down here, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. We hear boom, boom, boom. It literally rocks the house. So I jump up out of bed. I'm like, what the hell was that? Run down, and my dog, I got a German Shepherd at the time, Cheyenne. She looks at me like, what the hell is that? So I run downstairs, and I know it came from down here. So I open up the cellar door, and she looks at me like, I'm not going down there.
Yeah.
I'm like, the hell you're not.
If the dog
Let's
ain't
go.
doing it, he knows something's up.
Yep. So we get down here, and this is an open cellar, right? There's four walls and nothing down here. I'm like, man, I know this sound came from here. I know it did. So I go upstairs, and the wife's like, what was it? What was going on? I'm like, nothing. There was nothing down there. And she's like, that was so loud. I'm like, you're not kidding. So now you toss and turn for a little while because you're afraid to go to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And then it happens again.
What?
Just as I go to sleep. Yeah, ask my wife. Is this a true story? Boom, 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 louder than the second time. And now I can hear it. It's down the laundry chute, so I know it's definitely coming from down here. And it sounds like someone's taking a hammer times 20 and banging it against. So that whole side over there, all the way to where he's sitting, used to be a big workbench. A workbench that he handcrafted.
And you ripped it out.
This thing took me hours with a sawzall and a chainsaw. I mean, a skill saw to get out of here. That's how he had it bolted to the wall. Like, it was crazy. But he did all his woodworking there.
Yeah.
So I come flying down again. Now the dog will not come downstairs. She is fighting me. So I'm like, well, I'm going down because someone's downstairs.
Yeah.
So I go down. No one's down here. I'm like, you know what? This is ridiculous.
Like, where's that realtor's phone number?
Yeah. So the next day I see my grandfather and I tell him about what I heard down here, and he's like, well, you know what that's all about. He's upset. This is his area down here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're fucking with it.
Yep. So he goes, here's what you need to do. Grab 2 beers, go downstairs, open them up, offer him a beer. You need to have a conversation with him that he's no longer welcome here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, come on, man.
Yeah.
But my grandfather always gave out good advice,
Yeah.
He's like, you got to make it right for him. You got to let him know he can hang around, but you can't be doing this nonsense. And my daughter was only like 4 years old, maybe if that. So I come downstairs. I had a milk crate down here. That was milk crate that they left here. I sat down in the milk crate, put the beer on the floor, and gave him my spiel. And I said, hey, listen, I know you were a stand-up guy in real life, and I apologize that this happened to you. And I, unfortunately, I own this house now, and you're freaking me out. And I have a little girl, and I know he was very fond of kids.
Yeah.
So I said, you can't ever come. You can stay here all you want, but you can never show yourself, or I will get a priest and get you out of here. Right? And that was the God's honest truth. So never had another problem since living in the house.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I'm building Mantown down here. You're more than free to hang out with us. You know what
Get
I
him
mean?
on the podcast.
It's funny.
He's here.
The guy,
Yeah, he is.
the new room that I have in the back of the shop, I did not know this and everything. Somebody finally told me. But the previous owner of the building owned an antique shop. Well, he died in the building
Oh,
and everything because he lived in the back of it. Well, I move into this new room in the back. I renovate it and everything like that. Put an alarm system in it. Put cameras in it. Every night. Motion. Scott's room. Like, what the hell, man? So finally, I actually have a recording of it. You could see the shadows moving across the floor.
Wow.
oh.
And so it's like I had to actually turn off the thing because it would keep buzzing me in the middle of the night. Motion. Scott's room. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Why does this keep happening?
Well, we're sorry, we're going out of business.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what the hell is with this guy? Why is he got this, And they're like, oh, no, yeah. They actually found him dead in this room. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Hell no.
Well, yeah, like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, motion, Scott's room, and it trips the camera off and the camera starts recording it. And you can actually see the shadow. I had to show it to everybody. They're like, dude, that's freaky.
You never catch me in there alone.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Like, what time are you guys coming into work? We'll be there around 9. Okay, I'll be there at 9:05.
Yeah, turn the lights on in the back.
All the lights.
It only happens like it's the same time almost every night, like clockwork. It's like 1:37 in the morning, and it just says motion, my room, and I can actually see. I had to show it to a few people and stuff. Somebody brought in a Ouija board. And we tried to communicate.
Oh, no way,
I was
man.
like,
Nope.
That's how you. That's how you conjure up bad shit. I've seen enough movies to know that's a no go.
Yeah, I was like,
You know who uses Ouija boards? Guys with head tattoos.
That is a good point. That is a good point.
She brought in a Ouija board. She goes, we should try to communicate with him. I go,
No, we
"You can
shouldn't.
do it."
No, we shouldn't.
There's no we here.
No,
you
no.
can do it. I'm good. But yeah, I was been freaked out about that ever since I moved into that
And I'm
room.
freaked out now too. Thanks.
Well, it never happens when I'm tattooing, and he doesn't move anything, so it's just.
As long as he doesn't touch your shit.
Yeah, as long as it's not bumping your elbows.
Yeah, yeah. And then you hear a little snicker. You hear.
That'd be great.
All right, guys, we got to shut this down. I got to get to bed. So,
All right.
go ahead and plug your business one more time, Scott. Let them know where you're at.
Mystery Ink Tattoo and Body Piercing in Indian Orchard, 526 Main Street. Indian Orchard, right over near the Ludlow Bridge.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah.
What do you got, Matt?
Hey, Bellamy Middle School. Like their page on Facebook. Get some of their swag. Hey, thanks to D. I appreciate it. And we got some Bellamy alums here, too.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
It's going way back. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Brett.
All right.
Let them have it.
IQ Ink and Embroidery, screen print and embroidery, on anything that you can put screen print and embroidery on, anything from 1 to 1,000 shirts. And also my son's business, bluebeeapparel.com. Exclusive limited edition designs, dropped periodically, and he donates 10% of his profits to the Honeybee Conservancy.
That's right.
He's on Instagram.
He's
He's on
grinding
Instagram and
already.
I
TikTok.
liked him on
Yep.
Instagram.
Yep.
I got him, bro.
Check out his TikTok. He's talented. He's getting quite a following on there.
Man,
So.
I just got onto that TikTok
Yeah.
stuff, man. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a
I-
it's a 2-hour abyss every night before I go
Yeah.
to sleep.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
60 seconds at a time.
Some
Yeah, right?
People out there are just incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
and
like,
the in-app video editing is like a lot of that is in-app video editing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then some people take it to the next level and do external editing, but everything like my son does is all like right on his phone. You look at those videos, you're like, you could like cut and pasted all this together in these transitions on your phone. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Like one of my customers showed it to me. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What's TikTok? And
I still haven't.
You
Yeah,
saw-
don't do it.
dude,
Don't do it.
Don't
I'll
do
tell
it.
you what, it's addictive.
And you know I'll do anything. I haven't even.
Especially, if you're into cars, like I'm into airplanes or whatever, and
Yeah,
it's like
there's a
flying
million
video,
people on
flying
there.
video,
Yeah.
flying video. You just keep watching it, and it's like a train wreck. You can't stop.
Next thing you know, you look up, it's 5 years later. You're like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
You know? All right. So on the podcast, we always like to talk about animal rescue,
Ah, yes.
right?
I am a big adopter.
We are 9 years into rescuing animals right now. So Rainbow Rescues with an S.org, rainbowrescues.org. Anything you can do to help, please. We need your help. We're all about saving animals on this podcast. And Bordeaux & Sons Flooring for all your flooring needs based out of Ludlow, Mass. Another one of our sponsors.
Chris Bordeaux in the house.
Chris
Yep.
Bordeaux.
Flooring and
Sons.
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, walls. Well, still carpet walls. It's like a transition up.
Hey,
Yes.
it looks fantastic.
It does. I think it's a good look.
Hey, travel safe.
was-
Bordeaux and Sons. Travel safe back.
He's back already.
Oh, he is
Saturday.
back. Oh,
Good job
shoot.
traveling safe.
Yep, he made it. He made it. All right, guys. As usual, peace.